On this episode, I have Sally McNulty, time attack driver, touring car driver, and now getting into drifting. She's a triple threat, man, and she is serious. She can drive, and I've seen it, and you should all watch out because she's coming for that podium, boy. I'm just a dude.
Doing things.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's cool to have some variety on. Like I've had like just a bunch of well, first of all, I've had a bunch of dudes, so it's nice to have some female presence on the podcast. And then also I haven't had any like, actual racing people. It's only been like drifting people so far. So that's cool.
And here I am, the person you get on here to talk about racing. And what am I in front of? A 240 SX.
I mean, I can't get away from people who drive who either have had or have 240s.
I blame you and Julian. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, is it because that time you came to Julian's house after I came and watched you race at Sonoma?
Mm-hmm. And then like
Okay.
a week later, I bought a car.
Yeah, Julian's a
Which
bit
I
of
don't
a
have anymore.
he's a good motivator for drifting.
Yes.
For sure.
I've sent him lots of messages. I'm sure he's thoroughly annoyed.
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was cool. So, yeah. I mean, for those who don't know, you do like an actual like wheel-to-wheel racing series. You do time attack, and then you just bought an S14 with a SR.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you're fully busy all the time.
Yes, I'm probably the dumbest individual because I've set myself up for too many things. And Marcos is for anyone who doesn't know, my boyfriend's name is Marcos. So Marcos is like my mentor and my driving coach and my mechanic when I can't figure things out.
Yeah.
And he is constantly like, do we have to do something this weekend? Do we have a free weekend? So this weekend he has off. And I was going to go to a drift event, but I've decided that I'm not going to.
Wow, that's funny.
Next weekend,
He's the one that's like, all right, like we gotta, let's go somewhere nice. Let's get out of town. Just us and the dogs.
Actually, I think he just wants to sit at home and play the simulator. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. So yeah,
Which is fun.
I met you guys in person at a Yardbirds in Arizona. I was actually there for my cousin's funeral. R.I.P.
Was that like 2015?
Yeah, I think so. Don't do heroin, kids. Yeah. Yeah. So but I knew of you guys. Like we'd talked online and stuff previous to that because of the guys at Lick.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. It's like cool to see you all these years later because you guys have been doing time attack for forever.
Yeah. So Marcos and I met in 2013, and we started doing time attack together. Well, we met at a racetrack, so doing time attack. And we started doing time attack together in like 2014, and yeah, here we are.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely like it seems like you guys are doing well with it. Like
I'm just trying to get wherever if somebody said, "Hey Sally, we want you to drive your car," I'd be like, "Just tell me when and where. I want to drive it. Like if it's got wheels, I want to drive it."
Yeah. I hadn't seen you drive until I came to watch you at Sonoma. I think that was last year.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, like, we'll see. And like Marcos was like talking about, how some of the other cars had like different suspension setup, and because yours was like given, or like the way that the car was, the way that you're able to drive the car, you're limited in certain things.
Yes, you can only do so much.
Yeah, I'm being political here because I don't know exactly what I can and can't say, but it's okay. No one's gonna listen to this.
Stop it.
And so I was like, all right, like we'll see. And I think you started from the back of the pack,
I did, because we got to pre-grid 5 minutes late or something like that, and I was just like, what? I think it was
And
like position like 18. I was like sick.
yeah, and I was watching. We went up on the hill, and it was like me and Marcos and Travis, and like I don't know, like 2 laps in, you do this like dive bomb inside pass coming up the hill, and I was like, oh, like I was like, all right, this is okay. I was like, all right, Sally can fucking drive. Like this is cool. So yeah, that was like that
I
was
was like
my
in it to win it that day.
yeah.
I was like, I'm starting from the back. Like, we're going for it.
Yeah, it looked fun. I was jealous. But yeah, so knowing that like a car, like you don't have the flexibility that some of the other teams have, and that you could like go out there and just like, you know, kind of walk all over some people, that was pretty cool. I mean, I was impressed.
That is like the fun. Like, I've been doing time attack for a while, and time attack is fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, driving the Subaru has a ton of horsepower, has aero, super fun. But the most fun I've ever had is just being in that Civic. The Civic makes like 190 horsepower. It's kind of heavy because they put weight in it, but you're out there with other cars in the same playing field, so you're like have the same, like, this. It's kind of like a spec class, so they're all
Yeah,
similar. So like nobody's really faster than someone else, really. I mean,
yeah,
it's the car, unless you're
all
a good
driver.
driver. But it's so much fun. It's just to just be right on the guy's bumper and just waiting for him to make a mistake so you can like pounce on it right away. And it's so fun. Like, if somebody said you can drive all the wheel to wheel races, but you never drive your Subaru, I would say, yeah. But don't get me wrong, like, but I really like time attack. I have an event next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend at Road Atlanta with Global Time Attack. And I'm really excited about going to it. It's going to be so fun. I've always done well at Road Atlanta. And every time I've gone there, I like have the grid life record there, which is not Marcus,
What?
it's just rack record. But
Yeah.
I have the grid life, like, fastest all-wheel drive car that's got to run Road Atlanta in street class. And I'm going to go there this next weekend, trying to hunt down Marcus's time.
Are
My
you
best
guys
time.
are you guys in the same class now? Or
Yes. Well, he's not racing. His car
yeah.
is being built. But he still owns the track record at Road Atlanta. He did a
For
129.7 for street class.
okay.
And my fastest time was a 132.5.
So
But I'm,
street class, correct me if I'm wrong, street class is still like a radial tire, right? Like it's not a slick or
yes, correct.
so
Correct.
you guys are buying like what okay, so what's like the tire limitation? Like what tires do you run and then
Sure. So I have an all-wheel drive Subaru, so I can only run a certain width of tire. I can't go
mm,
any wider than a 265, and it can't be anything below a 200 tread wear. So it's
okay.
got to be a DOT, pretty much a street tire, like a high performance tire. So the tire I've been running is the Yokohama AO52.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very sticky tire that lasts a long time. Unfortunately, my Subaru is pretty heavy and makes a lot of power, so you're only getting about 3 to 4 laps before the tires are greasy, and you got to pull off.
That's
So if you
crazy.
don't put that fast time in like 3 to 4 laps, just get off the track. You cannot do
Yeah,
it.
so you don't have time to get comfortable. It's like get the tires warm, you have like 1 or 2 laps to like throw down your flyer, and if not,
Yep.
like that's it. All right. How
It's
did
pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Like, I've already been thinking, like, I think about the stuff. Like, I'm driving and I think about like the track in my head. I'm like, corner 1, I want to downshift here. I want to turn in. I want to hit the gas. I'm going to downshift the fifth. I'm like thinking like turn 3, this turn 5. I'm already thinking about like have it in my head. So whenever I get on track, it's just muscle memory. It's just I want to be driving it because I already know it. And I've like thought about it. I'm like, you're gonna be on the gas early. I'm like, I'm prepared to turn up the boost. I'm like, I'm ready. I want to go.
what
All I want to think about is like Marcos. I'm just gonna put a picture of Marcos's face on my dash.
just stare him down while you're waiting?
I'm gonna be like, I see you.
Well, it's
But
nice
it's
that
pretty
you
cool. Is that like the the person who has the track record, the fastest street car at Road Atlanta, happens to be my boyfriend, who happens to be my driver coach, happens to be my crew chief. So, like, if anybody's gonna get me there,
Yeah, true. If anyone's gonna get you to beat him, it's gonna be him.
yeah.
I
And he
mean,
wants me to beat him, which is cool.
yeah, I respect that.
So that's good. I'm gonna really want to do it. I think, yeah. I
What?
told him that he could drive with me this next weekend, and he's like, no, you have personal goals. You want to
Okay.
like, I want you to reach your personal goals. And I was like, oh, that's
How supportive. I want to get him on here too. I was like, should I do both of you guys? I feel like splitting you guys up is cooler because I feel like you both have like different backstories of like how you felt into this
exactly. And that's what he
craziness.
said too. He's like, yeah, I have, this is your time. This is you. He's like, well,
Yeah,
we'll do mine. And
yeah.
we can talk about, his hair and all that good stuff.
Yeah, how he keeps his hair looking good after pulling the helmet off. That's one that
I
I've
know.
never figured out.
I'm over here like,
There's like some that can do it, like Brandon Strong. Like every drift event, he like pulls his helmet off and he looks like a Canadian supermodel. I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Like,
you're like, give us people a break.
yeah, give me a shot, man.
Just once, Can you just have a bad hair day for me? Just once.
I mean, some people just have it. Their hair just like is like really nice to them. But you know
I
what?
know.
It's
He does
fine.
one of these things and it's done. I'm over here like with a brush and I'm like,
Yeah. Is there any
I
like
gotta like put it in a side bun thing, whatever, so it doesn't get caught in my harnesses and it's not flying in my face while I'm driving. And
yeah, I can't imagine having long hair and having to wear like a Hans or something.
dude, so in World Challenge, you have to wear full Nomex underwear. So like the long johns, the undershirt, the head sock, all of that, plus the helmet, plus the suit, plus the shoes, plus the gloves. I mean, it's hot in there. And then I got hair on top of it. I'm like, and they don't allow hair to be showing, so you have to also tuck that inside. I'm
Ooh,
like,
it's okay. You guys are from Arizona, so you're used to a little heat.
dude, for real. So the event you went to at Sonoma, I did not have a cool suit and I almost died. I just felt so
Yeah,
bad at the
it
end of
was
the
hot
race.
that day.
It was so hot. And I told myself that after that, I was like, I got myself a cool suit after that. And it's been real nice now.
That's
So
smart.
that's 40 minutes, a long time.
Yeah, us lowly peasant drifters. Like I've worn a suit like twice. I have one. I got one. I got one
Hey!
for going to New Zealand because they like you had to wear it. You had to
Oh,
hold have everything.
yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
tell me about that. I want to hear about that. Or this is probably I'm sorry.
it's okay.
That
I'll
was
tell
the
you.
coolest thing.
Yeah, it was fun. Like the C's guys, the D Club guys, like I mean, Keisuke, everybody, like it was just we went
I
out
was
there.
glued to all your guys' photos and stories and everything. I'm sure I got zero work done while you guys were there.
I mean, it was just all around like a good time. It's like, good people, good like the driving. It was like I don't know. I think we went to the track like 3 times or something. So it was pretty cool. It was like a lot of driving, a lot of hanging out, lots of like shop talk, and talking about car setup and
Just having fun,
yeah, having beers and
not
eating.
having to worry and just kicking.
Yeah, it was like a really nice vacation. It was like one of the best weeks of my life, I'd like to say. So, I got to drive.
I don't have to agree. That'd be really sick.
I got
I
to
was like,
drive.
dang it. I think I sent like a bunch of them, like of your stories to Marcos. And I was just like, man, this is like so much fun.
I
This looks like so
mean,
much fun.
you're getting into drifting. Who knows
If I can fix my car, it's broken again. So whatever.
what's wrong with it?
Well, I am new to the S chassis world, so I'm learning things.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I tried to move my harness out of the way, and I tried to bang as much as I could in the fender well.
Yeah,
Like my friend Pat told me, bang as much as you can. Try to see if anything is rubbing. So I was like trying to move the wheel to see if anything would touch, and I was like, okay. And I saw some places where I like banged them with a big hammer just to knock it out of the way.
yeah,
And I tried to relocate the engine harness so it wouldn't also get rubbed. Well, I did a really good job, but I didn't do all of it, I guess. I didn't take in consideration where it goes into the firewall. It was going to rub there.
Yep.
And I rubbed through some wires. So every time I clicked it and it would get sideways and lose traction, it would fall on its face and be like, "Brr." I was like, oh, there goes my drift.
Oh no.
It was like, it would do great. And it would get it right here. And it goes, bleh.
Oh,
it's
man.
like, dang it.
I think we've all done that. That's a rite of passage in the S chassis world.
Now, I don't know if you can see over here, I've taken the fender off and I have like no fender over here, and I'm going to take like the wiring harness apart. I'm going to try to fix everything and try to get some extra space so I can shove it up way out of the way and maybe make like some kind of protection around the wiring harness. So if it does rub, it's just going to rub on the protection that I put around it. So
Auto collect storm makes a plate for that opening. I think for the S, I don't know if it's just only for S13 or if it works on S14. I've never had an S14, but they make it one. I know that they make one for S13, and it's like a round metal piece with like a little like slant on it and an opening, and the wires just fit through, and it helps too because it pushes them up.
I need that.
Yeah, I can get you set up with a Roy over there at Auto.
My man.
Yeah.
What up, Roy?
This is my first sponsor. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. See, I'm learning all of these things. And it's really cool, though, because everybody's like, oh, drift cars are so hard. But honestly, they're really not. And I'm learning so much about this car.
Compared to Time Attack, absolutely not.
I'm learning so much about the car. But the cool thing is I'm learning about the car. And then I'm learning how to drift it. And me learning about the car, I can understand what the car is doing because I'm learning about the car and the way it like handles. And I've gone to the back. I took the whole front apart to put the heat maker knuckles in from Julian, and
hey.
I put the tension arms, and I did the extended inner ball joints, and I've learned so much about this car. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Because I used to drive it, and the car just sounded like it was going to fall apart up front. And I did all the stuff, and I went and drove it around block. I'm like, I'm like, yo, this is nice. I was like, okay. So it's really a cool experience. I mean, this really is the back burner on everything I'm doing. With like the Civic is most important, and the Subaru is important. This is definitely a back burner car. But with COVID happening and all the virus, I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have any races to attend, and I bought this car like a week before everything went crazy in the world. And I was like, wow, it looks like I've got a project for the next like 3 months. So I just kind of went to town. Everybody's like, you should learn to drift first. I'm like, where am I going to go drift? Like, I'm bored.
I mean,
I'm literally sitting at home. So I just kind of went wild.
Yeah. Normally, like when people are learning to drift, but they don't have any like track experience, I usually like go like, all right, go low power, don't get knuckles right away, like ease into it, keep your car simple, don't get like too caught up in like overbuilding it. But I mean, you know what you're doing.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I mean, like if you can hop in and like rip donuts in it, like right off the bat, like you'll be okay. I mean,
I think I tried 2 times, and Marcos is like, we got to leave here before someone catches us. I'm like, just 4 times. I promise I'll get it on the 3rd time. He's like, you got to promise this last time.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was like, boom, I did it. And he was like, you said you were going to do it the 3rd time. Okay, you did it.
I think that's the biggest thing about like getting into drifting is like there's two kind of approaches. It's like there's like the momentum based drifting where you like know how to carry speed and momentum and stuff, and like if you build your car too fast before you learn how to like carry momentum, then you don't gain the skills to be able to carry momentum in a drift in like a really built car. But like you already know how to carry momentum because it's like honestly, I wanted this car because I figured it would help me in my regular racing. I bet it will, honestly.
Because there's never a time where I'm going to be out there and try to lose traction. I mean, it can happen out there, but I'm not trying to do it intentionally.
Yeah.
But I feel like the little I've done has helped me, that I want to try to use all the skill set I can get, anything in car, any kind of like, even if it's just car control, I feel like it's going to help me in what I'm trying to do with like, you know, in a race.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Anything I can do, I want to like suck it up. Like
You have
any kind of car control.
You have an all-wheel drive, a front-wheel drive, and a rear-wheel drive car.
Well, be honest, the Civic isn't mine. I just have it. It's actually Honda's. I just have it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know anything about that. Honda's never given me a car, so.
It's not really mine. I don't get to keep it.
Right.
Like, I do have to give it back at some point.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to have to give it back last year. But I was like, can I continue to drive it? They're like, well, what do you want to do with it? I'm like, I just want to take it everywhere and do all sorts of races with it. They're like,
okay. Like, please.
Well, it was.
They'll take it back when it's a many time winning car, and they'll put it in some museum. Don't worry.
So I decided that I was going to sign up for the touring car class for Grid Life and start doing some races with that. And they were like, well, just post about it. Just take it wherever you want to go. So I'm going to just hit a bunch of racetracks with it and want to go fast and do some, wheel-to-wheel stuff. The last event I did was at Gingerman a couple of weeks ago, and that was a ton of fun. I did one of the races, I ran out of gas, so the next race I had to start from the back. And I think there was 30 cars, and I had to start at 28. And I passed like 8 cars on lap 1.
Get out of here.
I was just like, boom, boom,
8
boom,
cars
boom,
on
boom.
one lap?
On one lap. I was like, yeah. I was just like picking them up. I was like,
excuse me.
I was like, get out of the way.
So Marcos is like he's like talking to you through all the races. He's like your spotter pretty much.
Yeah. He's always like, good job. Good job. Okay, wow, you caught up to that guy. I remember one of the races that
he's really serious. He's like really calm and serious when he does it, because I was with him when we were at Sonoma, and he's like he's like watching, and then like you go out of sight, and then he'd like kind of go back to like BSing a little bit, but then he'd like hear and he'd like look, and then like so it's cool.
He's all business. Like when he puts the headphones on, he's like straight face.
Yep.
I'm businessman.
Yep. I was getting all like hyped and shit. I was like, hell yeah, it's so sick. And then he's like okay,
good job.
Yeah, he's like, good job. To like, I was like, all right. I could never be somebody's spotter. I try. My friend Matt Magigali asked me to be his spotter for like Pro-Am before he went to like Pro 2. And I did the worst job because I'm just super spacey, and like I wasn't like really paying attention, and like I didn't really know how to help. Like, I was like, yeah, man, that was pretty cool. And he's like, what, tell me what I need to do better. I was like, I don't know, like.
I don't know. You did good.
Yeah. So,
did you drift? All right.
Yeah, probably not. My future role anywhere. I don't think I'm gonna get hired as a spotter for anybody, but that's okay.
That's all right. We all have strengths.
Yeah.
You're a really good drifter. I am okay. I am not even a good drifter. I just do donuts and figure eights. That's bad.
Yeah, but you've been doing it for like a week. Just wait till you've been doing it as long as me, and then we can talk.
I wanna like, so I want to get good enough so I can go and hang with my pals and not look like a total noob. I don't have to be as good as them, but at least be able to like link a course and not look like an idiot. That's
how much work do you like? So you did all the stuff on your S14 that you just got, right?
Yes. So I bought this car. Well, backstory: I had bought an S13 about a year ago, and I had some grandiose plan of doing this big swap, and I realized that I was really gung-ho about it. I was going to do it. I went and bought the engine. I was super pumped. And then my friend was like, hey, I'm selling my S14. And I was like, and she's been asking me for years to buy this car. And I kept on telling her, no, I don't want to do that. No, blah, blah, blah. I've always wanted a 13. If I don't get a 13, I won't be happy. And then I really started crunching the numbers of how much I was going to have to spend to like do this swap and everything, because I bought an S13 with like a blown engine essentially.
Yeah.
And then I realized that just to get the car running, I was going to spend like $5,000 because I would want to make it nice and I would want to make it at least, decent. I wasn't going to just have some like ugly car. And I was like, and she only wanted $7,000. And I was like, well, I just pony up the $2 extra and buy the car that runs.
Yeah.
And it already has a swap. And so I did. I bought that. And then I immediately tried to sell my S13, which sold in like 4 days to my neighbor five houses down.
It's like, I'll take it.
We just like rolled it over there. And now they have it running, which is really sick. So it's kind of cool. They're like, we want you to drive it when we get it running. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I bought this car and it was white. It was primer white. It had like a gold interior that I wasn't a big fan of. I bought it without a seat, and it had a bunch of problems. I've been like, and she knew, and I knew what I was getting into because she let it sit for 2 to 3 years, and because she had a kid, and she's like, I've just kind of gotten out of it, but I don't want to see it go to some drift kid and just like, tear it up or whatever. I still care about the car. I really want to sell it to you. You're the only person I've ever like approached to buying it, and I was like,
wow.
Okay, fine. So I did. And then I've redone a lot of the stuff in the engine. Like we had some rocker arms falling off because it had a solenoid that was going bad because it has a 14 SR, which has the VTC solenoid, which does the oil control. And so the rocker arm falling off on the intake side. So I finally got that fixed. And we had a bunch of other issues with like the radiator was leaking, had a bunch of coolant leaks, and had a bunch of other things just from sitting. It just happens. And so I've been slowly working through this to get this car better. And then I redid the inside, and now it's some like wild purple sparkly with all these things. And I got some up garage seats because, I wanted to make it cool. And then I wrapped it myself because I didn't like the primer white, and I don't want to spend the money out of my race car budget to paint a car. So I learned to wrap cars myself during the coronavirus quarantine.
You're
wrap myself.
You're ready to be a drifter. It's like I don't really want to spend the money to do that. I'm just gonna do it myself. I'll figure it out, I guess. Like it's not really that important.
I was like, well, I already had half the wrap from my STI, and I was like, well, I'm not really spending any money, and if I mess it up, I'm not really out anything.
Yeah.
So I started wrapping, and I was like, wow, this is actually turning out really good. And then after that, I went and wrapped my Civic. Nice.
You're like, all right, well, now I do this. This is my new skill that I am good at. That's what I like. I don't know. I kind of like that about drifting because it is like a lot of DIY stuff. Like you like you have to learn the cars because they require more attention because you're like abusing them.
You are abusing them.
Yeah.
No, but since we've done a lot of work on it, I went out and ripped on it for like hours until I rubbed through the wires. But it ran like a champ, like an absolute champ. And I was like, dude, S14
SRs are really good.
It just kept going. It just kept going. And I was like, dang, like this thing is just great. Like, wow. I'm like excited. Now I just need to fix it. So.
How did you get into Time Attack? Was it Marcos or?
No, actually. Okay, so this is a good story.
Okay.
So I am a first generation racer. My family doesn't know anything about racing. My brothers never raced. I grew up in small town Missouri with like 14,000 people. There's nobody in Missouri that does anything about racing except for like NASCAR. There's no one. There's a bunch of hits. We're just a bunch of country bumpkins. So I moved away from Missouri and I moved to Wyoming and I worked at a dealership and I had a friend named John, and John had a Mini Cooper and he did a lot of track days in Utah. And he asked me one time, he's like, I had a Chevy Cobalt. It was manual.
Ooh, all right.
But it was NA, but it was manual. So, at least I had something. And he was like, I know that you really like cars, because I did, even though I didn't have like a cool car.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you appreciate cars and you always want to learn, because I was a service advisor, so I was always eager to find out, like, what does it take to fix this? He's like, I think that you would appreciate a track day. And I was like, what is a track day? And so he went on YouTube and he was like, Sally, this is a track day. This is like what people do at a racetrack. And I watched it and I was like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. He's like, there's going to be one in a couple of weeks. Would you like to go? We can go and you can sign up and I'll kind of show you like what's fun. I'm like, sure. That sounds like a good time. And I went and I had an absolute blast. I was terrible. I had no idea what I was doing. I had knew nothing about braking zones or like sitting right in the seat or like how to drive, hand on the wheel or any of those things.
Yeah, you're like doing one of these.
Oh, I don't even
down the front straight.
I know it was terrible. I would hate to see anybody see this. But I had an absolute blast. And so I kept on signing up for more of these in my NA Cobalt. And then I realized that I was like getting faster in this car, and then I needed like better brake pads, or I needed like a sway bar, or I needed this or that or whatever. And you know how many parts they make for a Cobalt?
Not many.
0.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, not that I've ever owned one, but I would assume that there's not a lot.
There's not a lot. So I was noticing, I did change cars, and I went to at some point I did trade in and get a different Cobalt, like a supercharged one, because I thought, hey, this would be a good idea. And they make a few items for that, but I ran into the same problem like several months later that it's really
just run out of brakes or run out of like
you run out of everything.
Yeah.
So I really started noticing that there's like a lot of Subarus out there, and people were like, you know, they have like sway bars and coilovers and all these cool things on these cars. And so I went and bought a Subaru.
Okay.
And I started,
what was it?
It was a WRX. Remember my old car from like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
With the plate, it was like gray and it was blue for a while.
Yeah.
So I went and bought that car.
Was that a Hawkeye?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I bought a Hawkeye, and I decided that I was going to track it. So I started modding it. I started getting faster in it. I started doing like NASA time trial and started winning. Whoa. And people are like, wow, Sally, you're fast. And I was just like, you know, I'm just out here having fun, man. Like, I just want to have fun. And people are like, have you ever thought about like competing, like doing other events, other series? Because I was just doing like NASA and the same track. So I was getting really, really fast at the same track. And I was like, you know, I would love to, but I just don't have any way to get there. And so I signed up for my first Global Time Attack event in 2013. And I went to Chuckwalla in California. And that's where I met Marcos.
Whoa, okay. So it's like this like big kind of like I'm gonna kind of like try this out, see how it goes thing, and like that's cool.
So he found out that I was gonna be signing up for this event, and he started like messaging me on Facebook. Ooh, and I talked a bunch of crap to him. I was like, oh my gosh, you like you're slow, whatever, your car looks, you know, I always just talking a bunch of crap. And then I show up and he beat me, but whatever.
Every time he said that in his head, he's just like, okay, we'll see.
He's like, we'll see. But anyway, I had a blast and he beat me, but it was cool because then it started growing from there, and people were like, hey, you know, we saw you at that event. That was really cool. You know, there's not a lot of females who do that. That was really cool that you came across the country. And I just started working
especially in time attack. Like when I went, I did one round of Redline time attack when I was like 19 or something. But
dang.
Yeah. There was no women drivers like at all. Yeah.
And they're like, that's really cool. Like you should really keep like working towards that. You know, I know it's expensive, but maybe you could find people to help you because it's like you're really doing some cool stuff that a lot of people don't do. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll keep working towards that. And I started doing more. And then I moved to Arizona because of Marcos. And we started doing a lot of the West Coast stuff. So going to a lot of California events like, you know, Buttonwillow and, you know, Willow Springs and other events like that. And people were noticing that I was going faster. And so I just kept on pushing at it and just trying to go faster and farther. And here I am. Now I'm just doing all sorts of crap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Literally, like my whole goal is try to get as far as I can. You know, I really love driving. I really love racing. And I don't really, a lot of people have a goal. Like, I want to end up here. And I'm like, I don't want to have that closed-minded, because I would love to like end up in, driving in TC America again. And I would love to end up driving and doing this or whatever. But you never know when opportunities going to come around where they're going to be like, something way out of left field, we'd like you to try this. And I'd be like, sure. I'm never going to say no.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool. I like that. I'm washed up, so it's fine. But I still got time left.
It. Whatever. I'm sure you would be really good in a grip car. I really think so.
Yeah. I do. I'm like good. I'm pretty good at karting. Like if I go to the karting spot, I'll go rip some people up. But I don't know. It takes me a while to get comfortable, and then once I'm comfortable, I'm pretty fast. But I couldn't go out and do like 3 laps and just like destroy a record like you guys.
Do a wheel-to-wheel race, man. Like you're gonna get like 2 laps in, and you're gonna get like that red mist. That guy's in front of you are gonna catch him, and you're just like,
yeah.
It just happens. It's like the adrenaline rush is like so much different.
I would love to do wheel-to-wheel. I just don't like. I don't know how you'd like what. I just build like a Spec Miata or something and go do that. Yeah. Like
Spec Miata is like really competitive.
The tallest roll bar of all time. Yeah.
Dude, that video of you and Jillian the other day in the Corvette.
Yeah.
I was dying. I was like, dude, this is hilarious.
That Corvette drove so bad. It was really fun. Well, okay, so it has knuckles. Okay. But the wheels were hitting the control arm, so like you'd be drifting, and then all of a sudden the front would just grab. It would like slowly grab though, so like the tires would start hitting the control arms, and then it would just loop like super quick. So it was like you had to drive like shallow angle, and it had stock suspension too. Like it was so it was like really boaty. I don't know. I like linked the whole course in it and like upshifted to like 3rd in it, and I was like, all right, cool, like I did it. I got back in my car and I was like, this is so much better.
You're like, yeah, that was fun. No.
I'm glad I got to drive it. I can see why people like the V8 stuff, but
sure.
No comment. They can have that.
You're like V8 lovers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's funny.
I like V8s in muscle cars, and that's where they belong.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Corvettes are cool. I'd drive a Corvette. Like they're fun on the street. Like it's a great road car. Like getting on the highway with like a big torquey like LS is like okay. Like I drove like a GTO around for like a day, and I was like, I get it. I could definitely own one of these. Like
Oliver did like the light. He's just like.
Yeah, just trying to drag
You're like,
everybody.
Me and you. Yeah. And the guy's like, I'm in a Dio Metro, man. No.
They have these like rental scooters in San Francisco that you can just like with an app you can be like, that one's mine, and you like jump on it, and it's like an electric Vespa pretty much. And like I know because of those there's no way that I can ever get a motorcycle, because like I'm trying to drag race Uber drivers like from the line and stuff. Like I ride them on the curbs and like drag brake and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely never gonna get a motorcycle. They top out at like 40 miles an hour, and I'm like trying to do wheelies and like it's so bad. Shelmy and I both got them, and Shelmy's like, she's not really like I don't know, she's a little more risk adverse than I am. So like I'm like splitting lanes and doing stuff, and she was not having it. Like we have never rented them together again. Like,
I don't know if I could do that, because I'm afraid of anything without like a shell around me.
I feel like if you got on one of those, you'd probably like I am too, but also I'm an idiot, so maybe not. I don't know. I think maybe you're smarter than me. I
always think of if I messed up and broke my leg, I couldn't ride. I was like,
yeah.
I have a scooter, and I've tried some tricks in the driveway and totally ate it. Yeah. Marcos was like, okay, and on that note, we're done for tonight. We're going to take the scooter away from you. I was trying to do like where you like jump up and like flip it around and like land back down.
Yeah.
Totally didn't happen.
No. Yeah, I think the drifting path is like there's like a lot of people who like did extreme sports and then like went to drifting because it's like
True.
That's like a pretty common path.
I think so. I think so.
Except for Jason, he just played basketball.
Oh, that's a weird like.
Yeah. He went from basketball to drifting. I don't know. He watched the little Bow Wow movie like Mike, and then he watched Fast and Furious, and he was like, those were his 2 life decisions, all based on Lil Bow Wow. I hope he never watches this.
Where would you say you started from? Well, see.
No, he legit said he saw Tokyo Drift with his grandma, and that was it. Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
That's
and,
wild.
And then he's
fair enough.
Drifted all over the world at this point. Like, it's crazy, right?
Here we go. You still living that dream.
They just got to come out with a good time attack movie, and then you guys are going to have a bunch of competition.
Dude. For real.
I mean,
I've been thinking about, though. I've been thinking of, like starting a new chassis, though. I've thought about it. I've, like, been on this S2000 kick for, like, 2 years.
Okay. You want to switch
but
it up?
I don't know if I can ever really, like, bite the bullet.
You're going to go
I've thought about it.
Mid-engine rear-wheel drive life.
I would just think that would be so much fun.
I actually love S2000s. I'm just too tall. I literally cannot fit in them. I can like kind of fit in the passenger side. I wanted to buy one. I went to test drive one because I was gonna buy one and I like couldn't fit in it.
Yo.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm 5 foot, so.
Yeah, it's a perfect car for you.
Dude, I get so much crap on the internet. I'll post a picture of me in a car, or driving by, or getting in a car, or any of that. Why do you sit so close to the wheel? Well, have you ever been 5 foot?
Also, like,
tell me about that.
You need leverage.
Like,
this is science.
I had to get rid of I had a quick release on the steering wheel of the S14 because I was like, oh, I need a quick release, I needed a hub, so I went and got all this stuff, and I put it on, and then I put the the seat up, and I realized that the wheel was in my chest, and I was like, well, I can touch the pedals, but I can't drive like this, so I had to take it off so I could actually like drive.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, why do you put a quick release on here? I'm like, I can't.
You're like, no, I can't. My my girlfriend's like really good friend is like 5'2", and she really, really wants to drive my car. She came to the last event and like I like gave her some, ride-alongs and stuff, but like she's like, can I drive your car? And I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do that. Like I don't know if I can make it small enough. Like I can.
Yeah, I don't know if you can touch the pedals.
Some, like, pillows. Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be kind of crazy. I didn't think about it, but I was like, yeah, you can drive it. And then I was like, wait, how are we gonna do this?
I'm like, wait a minute. I see Julian's car and he's got like 4 extensions on the steering wheel, and I'm like, not even what happened.
Yeah, the E36 isn't so bad for tall people. Like I just have like a steering wheel spacer, and when I put the JZ in, it moved my transmission back like 2.5 inches. So it's like the shifter's back, the steering wheel's back, and like I could put the seat like any way that I want because the roof's a little higher.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, in my S13, I literally had to I got like the lowest frame rails or like seat brackets they made, cut them in half and like flipped them so that like the seat was like tilted. So I was like always driving like this, like F1
That's
style.
what everybody tells me. They're like, you need to get the lowest seat rail. You need to get this. And I'm like, no, can I get the highest seat rail?
Yeah, I don't know.
I had to buy it. Like, everybody was like practically giving them away because nobody wanted them. So I'm like, I will take the highest one if it's great.
They're like, yeah, I got these. I can't fit in the car. You're like, I'll take them.
You're like, I'll take it. Yeah. I got Buddy Club rails over here, and I had them like fixed so it would fit correctly for me. I went to have like a fab shop fix it for me, and then I have, well, I don't really care about the passenger because they're probably normal size, so.
Just left it.
Unlike me.
Hey, whatever makes you comfortable in the car, you gotta take care of the office, you know? You know what I mean?
Dude, the Civic, I have a Bride Pro Face, which is a very small Bride Halo seat. And I have to push it real far up so I can touch the pedals and have the wheel and everything is good. Nobody. It doesn't have a slider on it because they consider that unsafe in like a racing series. So it's actually bolted to the floor. So it's only the size for me. So anybody trying to get into the car, they can't. It's like, I call it my theft deterrent. Because literally no one's getting in.
Yeah, my theft deterrent is people can't reach the pedals when they get in my car.
There you go.
Yeah.
You luckily, just can't get in at all.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I could drive your car. Oh yeah, I remember you sitting in Julian's driver's seat at his house. That was pretty funny.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
it was like your feet were like probably like a foot from the pedals. I was like, all right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully sooner or later you you know, get a little more comfortable.
I'll just say this. Maybe you can come to Sonoma later this year.
Yeah, I'll come to Sonoma. Are you driving Sonoma?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm down. You gotta drive with Phoebe. She's getting really good.
I really want to ride with her, and apparently you guys are having an event at the, wait a minute.
Thunderhill East.
Yeah, and I have a race that weekend, and I'm like,
that'd be a gnarly one to come. Like, well, I mean, I guess it'd probably be comfortable for you because it's like a big racetrack, right? It's like, have you driven Thunderhill before?
Nope.
Yeah,
like I've always wanted to.
Thunderhill East is pretty fast. I've actually never drifted Thunderhill East before either, so we'll see how that goes.
You'll do fine. You'll do fine. I'm not worried about that.
There's like a big like.
I don't think I'd probably leave the skid pad. I'd just be out there like drifting cones.
The event's on the track only, I think, and there's the main straight is like really, really fast into this like long left hand like sweeper, and I want to try it.
I'd be like the slowest initiation ever. I'd be like,
I'm pretty excited actually.
You'll do great. You'll do great.
Should probably bring my suit for that day so I can like really get in the zone, you know?
Be like
what's up, guys? Yeah.
You know, show up the day. Like, what's up, guys? They're gonna be like, who's this guy?
Drifting's like pretty half-assed on the suit thing. Like the roll cage is like really important. Like, you know, even to just do like a skid pad with tandem, you have to have a roll cage and all this other stuff. But then like, as far as like safety, like gear, like it's not all that strict. It's really weird, but
that is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Crashes happen. It's good to be safe. Kind of like
that's true. That's true.
As I'm getting older, I care more about that kind of stuff.
You're getting older. Like you're so old.
I'm 30.
It's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm past my prime, all right?
Oh, stop. It's only if you think that way.
Yeah, I got some.
I'm just going to go with, I'm going to have fun until I can't have fun anymore. And then
Yeah, I was like for the last year, I was kind of on this tip where I was thinking like, maybe my best driving is behind me. Like maybe I'm not going to get any better. Like look at all these F1 guys. Like they don't, they stop after like X amount of time. Like,
Oh, whatever. There's some really old F1 drivers that are still driving.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Kimmy's still out there, but he's not like winning all the time, like he's like scaling it back. And then I went out and like had a really good drift event and like did some stuff I never thought I would be able to do, and I was like, okay, all right, like still impressing myself.
So I'm gonna say this. So this is the time where you need to go do stuff that you were gonna regret at a later date. So you need to go and do things that you have always wanted or to aspire to do, because you never know, that's why I bought this car. Even though I had an S13, I bought this because I was like, if I don't buy it now, I'm never going to buy it. And then I'm going to kick myself and somebody else is going to get it and I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, you're going to be watching from the sidelines. Like, it's going to,
Right. And I'm going to be like, crap,
good.
I should have done that. And like, there's a couple opportunities that I'm working towards this year that I can't really talk about yet, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to figure out a way. And it's just one of those things. It's like, you have to do it because if you don't, you're going to kick yourself later and you're going to be upset about it. And you're going to be like, I should have done that. So I think to anybody who is, getting older, like myself and you, I'm 30s.
Okay, all right.
And it's time for, it's just like go and do those things that you want to do while you still have time. While you're still young and you're still like, I can sleep 2 hours, I can get to work and I'll be fine and whatever. I still want to go do all this crazy wild stuff and I just want to go have fun. Just go do it.
Yeah.
Because whenever you're 45, you can't go do it at 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe you can.
Yeah.
But go do it while you can.
I'm a big advocate for that, I'm like,
Don't let anybody stop you either. Because if I went with all the times that people told me I was stupid or not skilled enough or didn't have enough ambition or I was going to be a failure, whatever, I would have stopped like a long time ago. I told all those people, you're wrong. And I went and did it anyway.
This for all the people who said I'd never amount to nothing,
That's right.
I like to quote Piggy when I'm being inspirational.
Yeah, I don't think that's great. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I started a podcast. That's pretty weird. I didn't expect to do that, but hey, I was like, I'll try it out. Like, let's entertain people while they're stuck at home, even though people aren't stuck at home anymore. But
I still watch it. Marcos and I. It's really cool. I watched one of your podcasts and I started following Drifting Pretty, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And got into the whole thing, and I hope they have something going on in California soon because I know they live in California, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that because I had no idea.
Yeah, Nadine.
I had no idea, and I listened to his whole story about him going to the first FD, and I was just like, I know the feels. Like, I know how that feels, and like the struggle, and like the worry, and the money, and everything. And am I going to be fast enough? And like that was super cool. I really, really, really liked that. That was cool.
The Benson one was probably one of my favorites. Benson's a really good guy. He's and Nadine is super nice too. Yeah.
It was cool. It was really neat.
He's like one of the people I'm glad I met through drifting. Yeah. That is
I was like, I had no idea. I was like, cool. I'm learning about people that I never really I've never been a drifting into this the scene. I've always had friends like what they do and stuff like that, but it was really cool to hear somebody else's journey and they're like, that's inspirational. That's really cool.
What do you think what do you think the biggest difference between time attack or open wheel is with drifting? And you can be mean if you want, but what I guess it's really interesting to get a outside perspective of somebody who is serious about cars but then is kind of getting into drifting later on.
What do I think about the difference?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you guys are great. I think that me driving in a car and grip driving, I have to turn off all of the things that I normally would do in my mind, like letting go of the steering wheel and not being full throttle all the time, and feathering the throttle and and steering the car with the rear wheels, and all of those things are complete sideways. But I really appreciate that you guys can control a car with no traction. That is, in my mind, it's super sick, because I'm thinking I don't ever want to lose traction. I don't ever want to be going and the wheels be spinning and me going nowhere. I never want to have that in a race car. But you guys can control a car, go around a corner, transition, go the other way, do all these crazy things and get next to another guy while he's doing the same thing. That's cool. That's real cool. I appreciate any kind of form of driving, any kind of skill. You work hard at it and you become good at something. heck yeah, like that's cool to me. I don't
Yeah.
think down of anybody because anybody who would think down of any like of a drifter who's like a professional race car driver or a race car driver has never done a drift or never
Yeah.
drifted
Yeah.
because they obviously have no idea how much fun it is, A, and how much skill it actually takes to do.
Yeah. There's definitely like I feel like there's like people who are it's like it's one or the other with the racing people. And like usually I feel like the people who are like actually like really fast respect drifting. And the ones that are like
Yes.
in it but they're like I do track days and I'm important and I, blah blah blah. Like those kind of people like they're like, "Oh, drifting, that's such a hoodlum sport. Like I'm into motor racing." Like, it's like
You're
that
like,
kind
dude, you don't even race. You just go to track days. You don't even look at your lap time. Shut up.
I taught at a drifting. Well, it wasn't really. It was like a Groupon scam, but it was a drifting class at Thunderhill. And I really hope no one uses. Anyway, whatever. Uh, I the people who were my least favorite people to teach were the autocross people because they came in there
Oh,
like
yes.
oh, I know how to drive around cones. Like I've been driving around cones for 10 years and you're like, "All right, well,
But
here
you
let's
still haven't migrated to the track yet.
yeah." Ooh. I mean, like no hate on the
Sorry,
autocross.
sorry, sorry, autocrosser. I had
Yeah,
to say
yeah. It's like
it.
go on the track. Like you can graduate. Like, you know?
We all move up a little sometime.
Yeah, if you don't want to graduate from middle school, I get it, but like, there's high school out there, you
You
know?
gotta get a job sometime.
Yeah. I mean, I think I bet autocross could be fun. I think Shami and I might take the automatic convertible E36 to autocross just to go
I
like
don't have anything against autocrossers,
yeah
as long as they're still like trying to do other things.
yeah
Whenever they get like all like bent out of shape about how autocrossing is actually like a motorsport, I'm like, yeah, okay, you're out there in a car, you're doing automotive stuff. That's really cool. I think that's neat. You're doing that stuff. That's really neat. But like maybe if you do that and do like race events, that's neat. Like
yeah. I think it's like
branch out, like
the
keep
continue
going.
the continuous like it takes away like the physical aspect I think a little bit because it's like
Yeah.
you're doing like quick bursts but you're like I mean you do that in drifting but like drifting you're like really working in the car like
Oh, you are working the car.
yeah
Oh yeah.
so like
I
autocross
mean,
it's
and
like all
I have
right
not done a
I
lot
did
of
a
stuff, but you are working the car.
I did a 45-second like thing. All right, I'm gonna go like adjust my tire pressure, because it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Like, how did your tires even get hot in that? Like,
I feel like the autocross
they got
people
the
are
they
like
got the tire warmers on there.
I feel like they're really like the like really like into the forums like what like oh I run these lug nuts because like you're like okay man it doesn't really matter that much. All right, anyway I gotta stop shitting on autocrossers, but
They're the people who do get upset the most. I want to
yeah.
say.
I was like trying to teach them how to drift, and they like, we're starting with the basics here, like just doing donuts. Like, all right, let's do a donut around the cone, and they're like trying to like apex the cone. I'm like, all right, so this is a different concept. Like we're not trying to do apexes here. We're doing a circle, like And they're
Right.
like, all right. And then figure eight time came, and it's like they're just like dive bombing the cone and like going around dive bombing the cone. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like you're going fast, that's cool. But then they like spin out. And I'm like, if you go wider, you can like carry more speed actually. And it's
You
like
actually get a drift
you can
going.
actually drift. You're not just like flicking around and doing little like 180s. And they just didn't want to listen. It was like, all right, well it's like you paid to be here. That's fine. You want to just come
That's fine.
beat up an automatic S14? That's okay.
How do you drift in automatic S14? Like e-brake a lot?
It's just momentum. You just like throw. It was fun. I actually really enjoyed it because like after the class,
You
you would,
probably
like
made you really work for it, huh?
yeah, you'd like give like I actually like there was like a couple. There was this group of girls. It was like one of their birthday, and they were super into it. And I was like, this is the shit. And I taught two. One of them like did like transitioned in an automatic. like after I like taught them how to do like donuts and like figure eights and stuff, she went out and like they got like 2 or 3 shots at like drifting like it's like automatic first gear course pretty much.
Sure.
And it's like the skid pad's like wet,
But
but
that's cool though.
she linked half the course and I was like, "Oh my God, like that's so sick." I like made my whole
You're
day.
like, yo.
And then at the end you get to give people ride-alongs and like I was I got in trouble with the guy who was running the school because I was like trying to touch the other cars and stuff and like I was like
You're
hitting
like, I'm sorry, man. I just got into the moment. I couldn't help it.
I don't know what happened, but like one of the cars had like a manual ECU, so it had a rev limiter. So I was like hitting rev limiter in the automatic, like, and he's like, "All right, man, like, yeah, please, like these cars have to make it." And I was like, it was
You're like,
actually,
sorry. I don't know what happened.
it was so fun though.
I'd like
Yeah,
to try that. That sounds like good. Sounds like
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. They have like, it seems like there's like some drift schools popping up. It seems to be getting like a bit more popular.
There's one in Arizona, and I think it's going to be next month. And I probably will. They do like a drift clinic, and you actually get quite a bit of time because it's like 1 to 5 o'clock, and you start with like donuts, and you do figure eights, and then you get to do the course. But there's only like 20 people who sign up, so you get tons of time to go out there
Yeah,
and just kind of like mess around. But then at the end of the night, they have an actual like drift and drag, and there's like so many people show up, and you sit in line for like 30 minutes for like a 30-second run, and it's just
yeah.
like I'm not learning anything here. Like I messed
That,
it up, or the guy was like spinning out and during my run, I'm like sick. Let me go sit in line for another 30 minutes, and then you're gonna go,
yeah.
oh, sorry, time's up.
That's the hard part. Like I feel like learning drifting, you have to like hot lap or like do it consistently to like
Yes,
get
because you know
to
you're
get
gonna
it
make a
down.
mistake. You got to go back and fix it immediately, and you're like get that like feeling in your brain and in your feet and your butt and your hands and everything.
Yeah, like
All of
once.
these items together.
Yeah, like once. uh, I think because yeah, I remember my first event. I went out and just like understeered and then like tried to throw it in, spin
Oh
out,
man,
all that
that
stuff.
was me at the track the other day. I was like trying to drive and do all these like crazy things, and it was like
Because
understeer city. I was like,
I mean, I'm not you. I'm not like, I don't like actually race wheel to wheel, but like I thought I was a good driver. And I think that's why I like drifting so much because it was like really challenging. I was like, "Oh, like I'm going to have to work for this." And I saw people were like way better than me. And I think that's kind of like what's kept me interested so long. It's like, "All right, like I'm never going to I always felt like I had a little bit of skill, but I wasn't like on the level of the people that I wanted to be on. I wasn't on the level of the people that I saw that I wanted to drive like. So it's like it's always been this kind of like,
goal.
yeah,
But you got to have a goal in anything you do, because if you don't
yeah,
have a goal, you're not working harder to be better.
true,
So that's good.
yeah.
Good.
I
Be better next time.
I'm getting closer, getting
Dude,
closer.
I will totally take you out for a grip day,
Okay,
and I will be your
I'm gonna
instructor.
hold you to that. Yeah, I'm gonna need some heavy instruction. I
So I do some instructional, like I did a female like accelerated change was the name of the track day. All females signed up. One of the girls I knew is my friend. The other girl, I'd never met her in my life. And it was a Porsche day. So it was really nice cars, like ladies in like 911s,
okay.
like all of these like
Some
high
just
money
like high
cars.
power lawyers just showed up and they're like,
And a lot of them, one lady had never been on a racetrack before. And I just kind of go through the basics when I sit with them and say, don't be worried. You don't need to go 10 tenths. You don't need to be like the fastest person out here. But what I'm going to show you is like how to do each corner. We're going to end up linking them at the end of the day. And I want you to feel that when you do something wrong, you're going to feel, oh, wow, I did that corner wrong. Or, hey, or let's try taking this corner this way. And they take it and they're like, wow, that feels good. I'm not fighting the car anymore. I want them to learn car control, how their car feels, and all of that stuff. And it was such a busy day that day. I was instructing 2 ladies, and I also had my own car there. So I was putting laps down in my own car. I would park my car, get out, get into the other girl's car, go and ride laps with her. And they were 30-minute sessions. Get out of the car, go ride laps with the other girl. And I literally didn't take my helmet off for like 6 to 8 hours. Like my head hurt so bad. But it was really, really fulfilling. Like I felt good about it because I could watch them progress. I was like, hey, I'm like, and I use a lot of hand gestures, like flat. I want your flat on the ground. Okay, and now hard on the brakes. Okay, turn in. Okay, back on the gas. And I'm like, just do exactly what I say. And they're like, okay. I'm like, because I had my one friend, she was really afraid to like go flat on the straight.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's terrifying.
It's scary, yeah.
So I was just like flat, and she's like, no. I'm like, flat, just do it. And she's like, and she did it. And she goes, oh, it's not that bad. I'm like, no, flat.
We're on a racetrack. That's like what they're for.
And I was like, hard on the brakes. I'm like, turn in. I'm like, back on the gas. And she was doing it. I was like, I want you to brake late here, and I want you to take it wide, and I want you to cut in. I'm like, keep your eye on that next apex. And she was like, both of my ladies that I instructed started passing people, catching up.
There you go.
And it was funny because I was like, they'd see them like shortening in the distance, and they could only pass in 2 places. So I was like, okay, I want you to like, stay on your marks, stay on your braking zones. I want you to be back on that gas. I'm like, I know I'm not trying to make you go fast, but I want you to feel the car and how it rotates and how it feels. You're going to become more comfortable, which means you're going to carry more speed through some of the corners, and you're going to brake later. And all of these things are going to just tumbleweed so you go faster. And they're like, okay. And then they started catching up with people. I'm like, okay, we're coming up to the passing zone. So I want you to get kind of close to them. Not real close, but close enough so they see you. So you're going to earn that point by so you can get by them. And it was funny. They'd work hard. They'd be like, okay, I'm ready for that point by. They better give it to me. Okay, cool. Yes. And it was so funny. They were like, and they literally were like the 2 fastest chicks out there. And there was probably like 40 women that signed up. And I was so proud of them. I was like, yo, this is great. And my one friend, she had,
I can't give it all. You can't give it all to them. The teacher helped too a little bit.
No, but they did it. They listened to me. They could have been like, no, I don't trust you.
True.
No, blah blah blah. I mean, she had like an $80,000 Porsche, but she did exactly that. And she was so excited. Like I took a video of her driving, and then I sent it to her because she was just like, I want to show my friends. This is what I did. This is what I did. She's like, if I come to California again, will you be my instructor? I'm like, absolutely. Send me an email. Let's go.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
I actually really like teaching people.
Yes, it's so fun. It's so fun. Sorry,
I wish I could I wish it wasn't so challenging to have like a drifting school, but like I'd probably go work at one. I'd like to do that. There aren't any around here anymore, but
I'd like to be a driving instructor. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, you'd probably be good at it too. Sounds like. I mean, based on the statistics of what you just said.
Well, I just have fun. I just want them to go fast, and it's really like it was funny because I was driving they were driving the track, and I was like watching them, and I was like, man, I think we could take this corner better. So the next time around, I was like, we're gonna try something different here. Let's try this. Oh yeah, that was great. So then when I got in my car, I was like, I'm trying that. And then the main guy there, it was so funny. There was like the main Porsche Club of America guy that was there, and he was out there in his MX-5, his Miata. But he was like, I caught up to him in my Civic because I took my Civic.
Yeah.
And he came up to me later because I passed him, and he came up to me, he's like, you're really fast in that. I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm like, thanks. And he's like, you're really quick. Great job. And I was like,
I think the only time
I felt pretty good about that. I was like,
you're like, all right, yeah, maybe I am.
He had no idea who I was. I just some chick that right up in like a Honda Civic, like.
Yeah. He's like, did a Honda Civic just pass me? Like, I am the captain of this ship.
It was pretty good. I was just like, that made me feel good. I was like, my girls did good. I impressed the dude there. I was like, all right, we're good today. Good today.
I think the only time that like my car stuff has ever like helped me, but it didn't actually work out because my other skills didn't come through. But I got a job interview because I went karting with I don't think I can say the company, but it's like a company that does autonomous vehicles, and I went karting with all the software development team, and I beat everybody except one guy, and we were battling it out at this like karting place, like dive bombing
Did he
each
get pissed
other.
about it?
And like he got out and he's like, who's this guy? Like, and I was like, who is it? I was like, this is a software engineer. Like, ooh. And he was like, he was the software engineering manager, and he's like, hey, do you know how to code? I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right. He's like, all
You're
right.
like, no, this is my first time. I don't even drive cars. I have no idea what it is. He'd be
No,
like,
he knew because my friend Heather, she does time attack too. Actually, she has a mini. Yeah, she's cool. She's I don't know if you guys have met, but I think she only really does like local stuff. She never like went big. But she's not a big timer like you know.
oh, stop.
Uh
I have a regular job, bro. I got no money. I'm broke.
she's fast though. She's pretty fast. I beat her, but you know, she's fast. I rode with her in the mini at Thunder Hill. She's a good driver. But
Dude,
she was
tell
like,
her to
"Oh,
come
my
out
friend."
and hang.
Yeah.
I'm down for any chick who wants to who loves cars, dude. Come out and
Yeah.
have fun
Yeah,
any day.
she's no joke. She's dating Chow, who's like he's Matt Field spotter. So like
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so it's like it's all connected, you know, it's all his car
I
stuff.
know Matt Field because he's sponsored by Borla.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got 500 horsepower and a Borla exhaust system. He's he's pretty much the dude from Tokyo Drift at this point. Actually, no. How was the guy that he was? Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna. Whatever. Matt's cool. I'm not clowning on him. I was just trying to make like a Borla
It's all right.
Fast and Furious joke. You know, you can shout out to Borla. You know, I had a. Did I have a Borla exhaust on my M3 when I bought it? I think it came with one. Yeah,
They make stuff for everything.
it was
Honestly.
actually really nice, and then I sold it because you know, dumb drifting straight pipe stuff.
I have to
Actually,
say that every car I have has a Borla exhaust.
I actually liked mine. It was nice. It sounded
They
good.
make some really good stuff.
Yeah,
I
it
went
was
to
like nice
I went
quality.
to the warehouse
Yeah,
and saw their R&D. I got a tour.
yeah.
Dude, the place is sick. It's really cool.
Us
I was
like
like, wow, impressed.
us trashy drifters, we don't get that. We don't get the red carpet rolled out unless we're professionals. You know.
Oh, stop it.
I've been to some cool places, but I haven't been to I don't get the factory tour. You know.
I'm sure
Maybe
if I was I'm bringing my friend Palmer over, he wants a factory tour. I'm sure they'd be like, bring him
be
on
like,
over.
bring
That's
them
cool.
by.
Bring him by.
Do you guys make exhausts for Jay-Z swap E36 M3s?
I'm sure they
No.
can make you one.
Yeah, they probably could. It'd be really nice and expensive, I'm sure.
They don't actually make one for the S14, but I got a twin. It's like a muffler, but it has the twin tip, and it goes
Hmm.
up, and it's
Okay.
really nice.
So they just sent you some goodies.
So
That's
I got,
cool.
so yeah.
All right,
So because I'm yeah. But my
Really?
My Honda Civic is a factory built race car,
yeah.
and it has a bunch of parts that are from a list. It's called homologation because the class it's in for TCA
Yeah.
and for TC America, but it has a whole list of stuff that's already been approved by the racing series that can be ran on the car. And it has a custom Borla exhaust that comes on the car. And my factory built race car, you can actually go online and buy it. You could go and buy the car that I have. It's 55 grand. You
Okay.
can go contact HPD or Honda Performance Development. You can go buy the Civic. Comes with a Borla exhaust. It comes with a Motec. It comes with
Okay. It's tuned and everything, ready to go.
dude, yeah. I mean, ready to roll, gutted, caged, Motec, fire suppression system, has a front dip. A front wheel drive car has a 1.5 way dip. It's pretty
Okay.
sick. It comes with a Bosch ABS unit. I mean, the car is hooked up, ready to roll. It's pretty sweet, and it gets delivered to your door with a set of Hoosiers on it. And yeah, I mean, the car just comes up and they're like, here you go, your race car's delivered.
Well, go ahead and jump in.
No joke. Comes with a race suit, a race seat in it, harnesses. Literally get in and drive away.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I
It's
think
pretty sick,
a
honestly.
lot of yeah, that's actually awesome. I didn't know it came with like Motec and everything. That's like such
Mhm.
a strong selling point. I mean, because
I know
like what's
it's such a flex. So
I wish I had Motec. I wish I
yeah,
was
I mean,
that's
it's not my Motec.
yeah. What do you
But
run?
I do, you know what? I do have the same gauge in the S14 as you do. I have one of the little Defi Digital ZD Club
Hmm.
Sports.
I don't have it anymore.
You
I
don't?
went baller, yeah. Well, I didn't go
Oh,
baller. I didn't go Motec baller, but I have a dash now. Yeah,
dang,
I got
must
me one
be
of them.
nice.
I got me one of them AEM joints, you know.
Yo, I have one of those in the STI.
Okay. I was like, you
Marco
know
keeps
what?
on yelling at me. You should get him a
What do you have for standalone in the Subaru?
It is stock.
It's a stocky C with like a Cobb access port.
Yep,
Yeah, that's Travis's bread and butter, huh?
I know, dude, all
Does he still
day.
tune all your cars?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Taylor and Travis, they're like the same
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Um, but Taylor tuned my car, and yeah, it's just a Cobb access port.
And it
There's
makes
no
about like
reason to change.
yeah. It makes like what like 500 horsepower or something. Oh yeah, and you can run like
560.
oh my god, that's so much.
Dude, I should take you for a ride in it. That's what I feel
I'm
like.
very
I
down.
feel I want to do. Like, I love time attack and I love doing the time attack in the STI. It's a lot of fun. But I love taking people for like real quick laps in it, like just getting on the freeway because I mean, it's so fast.
I'm so
It's
jealous
like
of you
banging
Arizona
gears and it's
people.
like, it has a twin disc. So it's like insanely loud. And you have to warm up the clutch or the clutch just doesn't shift right.
Hmm.
So, but like getting on the freeway, I took Marcos's brother's wife for a ride. And let's just say she's never been in a car that fast, let alone a race car.
Yeah.
So we went around a corner and I'm in second. And I don't think she really knew what to expect. I think I even posted on the internet of me giving her a ride and
I
I
watched this
videoed it.
video. I
And I was
really
just like
enjoyed it.
banging the gears like it shifts at 8 grand. So like it like I'm shifting it at 8. The needle is like this. And I'm shifting it at 8 grand and she's over there just like
I watched the video. It was amazing. I was like,
But I
okay.
just want to make friends for like just a real quick like ride along. Like, hey, you want to take a ride in my STI? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like the power hits real hard. And you're just like,
I'm not gonna lie.
even Marcos drove it, and he was like, this car is like so fast. I'm like, yo,
I'm jealous of you Arizona people with your drive whatever on the street. I remember the time that we hung out and got dinner. I saw like a S chassis with like a front mount intercooler, no front bumper, just like in the parking lot. And I'm like, what? And you're like, oh yeah, that's not like those are everywhere. Like you can just drive that on the street. I'm like, why do I live in California? What am I doing? I want to drive my Beamer on the street so bad. It's like, it's like a good road car. Like
sure,
honestly, like it's pretty comfortable. Even if it's like, it's not even. It's even for being like low and stuff. Like it has a ton of ground clearance. It's like
sure.
I I mean, I'm not saying that I don't sometimes make sure that it's okay before I go to drift events, but I would like to I'd like to like drive it cruise it through San Francisco like as is like full livery and stuff.
That would
Like
be sick. Do you
yeah.
get some rollers in that?
Yep. Just like park it on the bridge or something. I have a picture of me like on the Gold Gate Bridge when my car was like slammed and like stock engine and stuff, but I kind of want it now while it's like really
Dude,
wild looking.
your car looks so good.
Thanks.
Really good. Like when
Yeah.
I first saw the photo, I was just like, yo,
It's all Michael.
yo. I think I've shared it a couple of times.
You did. I appreciate that.
I was just like, yo, this is Palmer with the heat right now. Like, he's good.
I
I was
kind
just
of
like, yo,
I did
so good.
I finally did what I came to do. I like wanted to kind of just see if I could make the E36 like actually like Japan spec cool, and I
It's
think I
be
pulled it
cool.
off kind of. Yeah. It
Be
was
cool. Be cool.
yeah. So
The
that's
coolest,
exciting.
I dig it. I think it's awesome. It should
My
be fun.
favorite and most unexpected part is that like Japanese dudes like think it's really cool. Like a lot of like I was at Final Bout and uh like Samoya from like Sexy Style like Nights, like literally was like,
Yes, yes, yeah.
he's like, I want a BMW now, and I was like, all right, man, sick. And
You're
like
like,
people in the circle were just like, oh, I was like, all right,
but that's cool though.
yeah,
You made it cool though. You made it really good.
yeah. I kind of I just I wish that I didn't crash so much because I do like I kind of want to like R chassis. I wouldn't mind like a Skyline or like a GTST or something. I don't know, but just I can't afford crashing that thing as much as I crashed the Beamer.
Cool. I don't know. I don't know. Skylines are cool, but I feel like I've seen a lot of them,
Yeah, maybe in Arizona it's probably like a little more played out now because
and
there
I'm
are.
like, they don't do a good job. Like maybe that's my real. I don't haven't
Mm,
seen. I've only seen so many. Like I've seen a lot of them,
they
but I
spent all the
haven't
money
seen a
getting
lot
a
of
car
good
here.
ones. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they spend minimal effort and like, oh, I have Skyline. I'm like, yeah, but it's not good. Like, yeah, yeah, so does someone else. But yeah, like there's only I can only think of like on the top of my head like a handful of ones that I think that are like I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's funny that Marcos has like a like stanced RS like, and he's like a uh like time record holder, but then
Oh
he
yeah, you
he
should
just cruises
see
around in like a
the
NA
you should
Subaru.
see because like some of his sometimes from like when he first got the RS like painted and he put the KFs on it
Hmm.
and it was on air and it was like it looked real good. I mean the
Yeah.
car was excellent. It had a charge speeds kit on it and the
It does.
car looked
Yeah, yeah,
10
yeah,
out of
yeah.
10.
Yep.
And I remember like several times people would like post it up and they'd be like, or he'd get shared somewhere. And you're like, oh yeah, they're like, functional reform. Marcus is like, I own like 6-track records. Don't even talk to me.
He's like, I mean, yeah, yeah. They're like, oh, how could you do that to a Subaru? And he's like, I mean, have you seen my other one? Like,
It's like, because I've done this, so I
yeah,
can't.
like I have both. It's cool. Like, yeah, I do. I like when people can do like multiple facets. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like you, for example, or like Marcos, he's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna build like a cool looking car, and then I'm gonna go, smash track records, and then like you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna try this Honda thing out and like pass 8 cars in one lap, and then I'll buy S14. Like, I don't know, like I
But
can appreciate that because that's like how I mean, I think I made maybe not the best decision living in San Francisco because I kind of want to have some more space so I can maybe do like a grip car or something. Just kind of like branch out a little bit because
sure. You can always
or
come to
just
Arizona. It's cheap to live here.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
real cheap.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's where my
like
dad
real
lives
cheap.
now, so
Like real
probably
cheap.
won't.
Like we have a house with a backyard and an RV gate. We have a whole bunch of like.
Don't you brag about your backyard?
Well, I do have my old crash Subaru back there, so
Oh
that's not.
no.
But
Do you have plans of bringing that back, or is it just like a reminder?
I don't know. I don't know. I just need somebody to come pick it up. It's free
Yeah.
for whoever comes and wants to take it. It's got a clean title.
Is it like stripped? Is it stripped down? No motor?
I parted a lot of it out. Yeah, I sold a lot of stuff. It actually helped me fund my last year racing.
Yeah, I bet.
So I sold a lot of stuff, like the TEs off of it, and like the
Yeah,
brakes, and a lot of the other stuff I had on it. And yeah,
yeah. Must be nice having some time attack TEs and actually time attacking.
oh, it was really cruddy because like that car was 5x100, and now my new car is 5x114, so I couldn't even keep them.
Mm.
I was like, I
Ah,
sold the Ganadors that I had on it. Like I had
yeah,
like the most like JDM time attack car. I was really proud of that.
yeah. You had some. You guys have. Yeah, I do like that about you, Marcos. Like you're like, all right, we'll get the Ganadors. And you get some like cool wheels and stuff. Adam and Noah are like the reason our car's never been in a magazine. Oh, I probably shouldn't say it. I can't say that. I'm not gonna say it. It's fine. Anyway, he had like a whole rant about it, and I'm like, I mean, you could change that, like, but it has something to do with like the you know the round part of the car. Anyway,
round
whatever.
part.
Yeah.
The thing that goes like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just picky, and I don't know. Small. I will say this. So you're talking about Marcos's stance car.
Mm-hmm.
Small unknown fact about me. When I met Marcos, I had an '07 WRX Hawkeye. Marcos has an '06 WRX Hawkeye. When we met, I had a Stance '03 Bug-Eye that was like on purple wheels. It was white. It was dumb, static. I mean, it had like this much clearance. And he was like, "Yo, so this is my daily, you know." He shows me the picture. It's like a Stance car, and I was like, "Yo, you like that stuff too?" I was like, "You should see my car." And I like show him a picture of like my '03 like Bug-Eye that's like on its face, like dumped.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He's like, "Oh," he's like, "So you like fitment too?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got like -5 degrees of camber to run these wheels," and he's like, "Oh," and then we realized we're like, "Are we like the same person?" I was like, "I think we might be."
That's pretty cool though. It's like nice that you
Yeah.
guys. Like, I can't believe you went to your first like time attack day and then you just like linked up and then it was like history. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I met Marcos and all the rest of the snail people, Travis Taylor, and we were just like all hit it off. We're like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, we're all friends. And I was all like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was it.
I got drunk with Travis at Noah's house one time and it was a time for sure.
Oh man, Travis
Yeah, he's good
from
people.
Texas,
Yep.
Golden, Texas.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, I
Yeah.
will never forget. You want to go faster at the racetrack? Just have Travis Barnes in your ear. You just
Yeah.
have Travis Barnes in the radio, and let me tell you, like I went to every single time that he's been at the racetrack and he's been on the radio, I have gone faster because he'll be like, "Don't you lift? Don't you lift? You better be on that gas." What do you even think about lifting? He's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
He's like, "Gas, gas, gas. I don't see those brakes, gas." I'm like, he's like, "No, right now." I'm all like, "Dang."
Uh,
But he's right.
well,
I did go faster, so.
all right. Yeah, you gotta have people that like do that for you.
Absolutely. I've always gone faster with Travis in my ear. Always. So,
Yeah. Drifting's like we don't yeah, I'm kinda jealous of the like radio stuff. But like you don't really need it at the level that like on the grassroots level of drifting, like it's like what are you gonna I wish we could
I
talk to
wouldn't know what to tell you. I'd be like, let's kick now.
I wish we could talk to each other in the cars. That's
Oh,
what
that
I
would
like
be
when we're
cool.
tandeming and stuff, like be like, "Oh shit," like that was
Imagine
sick.
it would be like simulator time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Only real life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not good at sim drifting yet. I'm working on it. Actually, I haven't played in like a month, but
That's probably what Marcos is doing now. He's probably on the sim.
yeah, that's why he's so fast. We played iRacing with him, and I was like, damn it, I got a long way to go.
Well, I was really pumped because the other day we were on there and I did a couple of laps and then he did a couple of laps and I was still faster than him. And I was like,
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right.
it's a first. I was like, note this down in history. Right here.
Yeah.
Sally won.
I like
Not in
actually
real life though. It's a video game.
I like playing iRacing with him. It's fun.
Oh, he gets really into it. Like
Yeah.
really into it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a lot faster than me. I gotta learn. I gotta learn like I gotta learn I've never been good at like braking in cars. Maybe that's because you don't do that much in drifting,
Well,
but like
it's not a real car though.
yeah.
So you can't really judge anything. It's just
I'm better at like braking in like karting than I am like I can late brake in karting pretty well, but like
so you probably do it like a little bit of both though.
yeah, it's both feet. So like that like throws me off because like I'm using I don't know. I have to figure it out. I've been trying to play iRacing by myself so that when I play with them then I can like actually keep up because it's bad. But you know, whatever.
You should come out and drive the Civic. You'd have fun.
Okay. Gladly. I know
I can move the seat back. Marcos has driven the Civic a couple of times. I let Vin from Hoonigan. I let him
Yeah.
drive it for 2 days straight when we were at Super Lap Battle at Buttonwillow.
Yeah.
What was that, last year?
Yeah.
I was like, I already have the Civic. He's like, all his cars were broken. I'm like, do you want to drive? And he's like, yeah, but my cars are broken. I'm like, you want to drive my Civic? He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they delivered it to Hoonigan. My Civic showed up at Hoonigan, was like sitting in the showroom area for like a week. And then he took it to Buttonwillow, and I just like, just move the seat back and just take it for a rip. And he drove it for 2 days, and he's like, this is like the most fun. He's like, it's slow, and I'm not like beating anybody. And he goes, but I was like really like working on trying to like get on the gas fast.
I actually really like front wheel drive. I know that's sacrilegious,
It is.
but I I enjoy it.
It's funny because half the racing series that I'm in with like Grid Life, if you have a front wheel drive car, you get extra points because it's harder to drive a front wheel drive car, I guess. It's like more of a difficulty, not easy.
Yeah.
But dude, makes you such a better driver. It's so crazy. And then you can actually like drift too. Like you turn in, like you literally just turn the wheel and you just hit the gas and the car just goes.
It's like, fun too because you just point the front wheels and like you just roll on the gas a little bit more and it'll come out of it, or you can like let off the gas and it'll like pitch and you can
it's the most fun.
You steer with the throttle, but it's the complete opposite of drifting. It's like it's like in drifting you steer with the throttle, like the car rotates more the more gas you give it, but like in a front wheel drive it's like the more gas you give it the less the car like slide. But then like there's like a point in which like there is no chance and the back's just like trailing the front. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Turn it. Like one of the turns of the last race, it was like literally like a straight and then like a 90-degree turn. And I literally just would brake, turn the wheel like a fraction of a degree, and I'm just floored. I'm like, and it was just turning and the car just went, whee! It was awesome. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's just, and you can like, literally we try to run like a smaller tire, a wider tire up front and like a smaller tire in the rear and pump up the pressures in the back because you want the car to like rotate around. So you want the end to kind of go like this.
Yeah, because it is faster. I think I don't know anything, but I did
a
one
whole race day and never change the rear tires. I mean, I'll run like the same rear tires for like 3 events in the rear.
Yeah, I can imagine. I did one. It was my only track day ever, but I did Redline Time Attack in like 2009, I think. And it was with a like local company called Works, and they're like, oh yeah, you're a customer, like come on out, we're like trying to do a big show for us. And I was like, okay. And so they're like, yeah, we'll do like a vinyl wrap on your car and we'll give you like a credit for like labor or whatever for
wow.
the car. And I was like, okay, sure. And I had like lowering springs, like an axle back, like a drop-in air filter, and like a 91 tune, like a ROM tune that they did. And I went out there and like the first day, like I had never driven like a car. I'd done karting, but like I'd never driven like a car on a racetrack before. So like I had like subs in it. I had a I had like a custom, because I was a car audio installer at the time.
Beats on the back straight.
Like 2 amps like on the back deck, like all like, you know, hot import night style in my Lancer. And I was driving around like this, like hand in the center of the wheel, like Vin Diesel style. And one of the people, like the driver trainer people, they're like, oh yeah, like it's your first one, like here, I'll ride with you. So he rode with me and he's like, what do you do? Like, why are you sitting like that? And I was like, oh yeah, true. And I got more comfortable. And like I literally picked up, like it was raining too. I picked up like 5 seconds or something the next day. The day before, my ex-girlfriend went on a party bus and got like annihilated drunk and tried to fight somebody. And so they called me, and my car is on like my car is like all vinyl wrapped, but it's like a Lancer. It wasn't like all that crazy. And I was sponsored by the Wheel Dude. I had some Rotas on it. The
Dang
reps, you know, just like lick. Not saying any relation to what I was talking about before.
You know those round things.
Yeah, it's like a circle. And so I'm like bombing through the Broadway tunnel in San Francisco, with like the red line time attack windshield banner and the door stickers, like numbers and shit, looking for her. I got home at like 4 in the morning, and then she got dropped off like 10 minutes after I got home, and I was so pissed. But I woke up at like 6, went to the track, and I was super tired. And the guy that rode with me is like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "You're right. What am I doing?" And then I like put my hands in the right place and like actually like, put my
Drove.
hands back on the wheel after I was shifting instead of like, fucking doing one of these. And like I picked up like 5 seconds, and I I like almost rolled my car on the carousel, coming down the carousel because I like pitched it out because it was raining, and then I lifted because I didn't know what I was doing, and it like looped and like went up the hill, like yeah, yeah. But
You're
then
like sick.
the next day I came back and it was like still raining. I picked up like a ton of time because I got like comfortable and like kind of like remembered how
Sure.
to drive, I
Yeah.
guess. And then I was battling it out with this other guy, and it was like like street front wheel drive was like faster than modified all wheel drive and
Dang.
modified front wheel drive. So like my time, I beat all the other works customers and their Evos. Yeah, it was cool. And then I got I went up and got my trophy for like the whole because I got third, and like the guy like who rode with me, he's like, "See ya," or fuck, what did he say? But it was like some super like backhanded compliment. And I was like, man, like, because he rode with me when I was really bad, so I think he thought like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like,
You're like, look at me
he's
now.
like, oh, you showed up and you won a trophy or something, and I was like, oh,
You're
man.
like jerk.
And then the owner of Works was like, "Oh, we should have tuned your car for 100 octane. I think you could have got second." And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine." And then
You're like, thanks, bro. You're
yeah,
like, thanks for the help.
and then I was like, this is like, I don't know. I got sponsored, but I went around and got sponsored by like all kinds of random shit. Cause like I worked at Best Buy. I was broke. There's no way I was gonna afford like the entry fee or like tires or anything. I got sponsored by a
I still
plastic.
can't afford that.
I got sponsored by a plastic surgery office. I was like I was like door knocking. Uh,
Dude, I need to try that.
yeah, I was like, hey, and they gave me like $100 or something, and I was like, I'll put your
100 bucks,
sticker on my
100
car.
bucks.
Yeah, I got who else? There was like an auto body shop that like gave me like $100 or something, or like they gave me like $200. I was like, this is sweet, like, and I haven't ever done that for drifting. I don't know why, but I don't like. I got sponsored by my favorite sandwich shop. They gave me $50. It's like that's cool,
You're
you
like,
know.
can I get free sandwiches? Sandwiches.
If I got free sandwiches for life, I would have probably been like a $5,000 sponsorship for real.
You're like, you get half the car just for that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put a sandwich on the side of the car, like
You're like,
yeah,
I'll put me a face on there.
yeah. But I only did that once. You guys do that all the time, and I didn't set any track records, and I didn't actually even really do that good. But that's fine.
Oh, you did fine.
Yeah,
That was,
Um,
man, that was when time attack was a lot simpler. Time attack's stupid.
yeah. I mean, yeah. This is like it was silly. I had like a helmet, like no suit, no nothing, just some gloves, and like a car with like a sub in it. Like,
People still do that minus the sub.
yeah. So like I guess, or maybe was I street? Oh no, I was enthusiast, which is like the
Oh,
basic class. That's the slow.
it's
But I was,
okay.
yeah.
People can still be fast in that.
My time would have gotten me second place, modified all-wheel drive.
No way.
Yeah. But there wasn't a lot of competition. We'll just say that.
Were
'Cause
they like, were they like walking out there?
yeah, it was raining. There was like one of the
They should
custom.
be faster.
I know one of the works
But
customers
front-wheel
had.
drive is great and everything, though.
Yeah. One of the customers had like a caged Evo 9 on like E85, and like another one had like an Evo 10 on E85 with like 500 wheel, and I beat both of them. Like one of them just went home early.
What?
Yeah, felt good.
Dang, you're like,
That's It was a big ego boost for a 19-year-old. I was like, I'm the man. I'm the best driver in the world. Like,
You're
I'm gonna
like,
quit
look
my
at
job.
me, look at me, look at my Instagram posts, look at my actually probably Facebook.
It was Facebook at the time for sure.
Facebook for sure.
Yeah, but that's my only experience with time attack. It was fun. I like, but yeah, I think drifting like just sucked me in. That was it. I was like, all
Well,
right,
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, honestly, time attack isn't much fun to watch. It's kind of boring.
true.
Drifting
It's
is way more fun to watch.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, wheel-to-wheel racing is fun to watch because you get to see people battling it out. But
yeah.
time attack is pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like doing open wheel racing would probably be more fun than drifting, but I don't know.
See, I don't tandem, so I don't know.
Yeah, once you get there, like once you start tandeming, you're gonna be like, okay, like
You're like,
this is messed up. Like this shouldn't be legal.
I would like to do it, but I have to get my skills set up. So,
You'll get there.
in my car not to die on after a clutch kick, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, tandeming is like, it took me, I went to probably like, I want to say like 10 drift events before I started tandeming.
Okay, so I shouldn't feel too bad about myself then.
No.
Okay, I was kind of hard on myself at first. I didn't get it right away.
It's not that like, for example, like I went and I am okay. I mean, I'm not really good at driving, but I'm okay. I'm okay enough to like beat other people at it my first time.
You did good.
I did
You did
okay. Yeah, thanks.
You do well.
So yeah, like getting into drifting, like the first time I went out, I was able to like rip a wide donut pretty well, and I was like, all right, like I got this. And then I went out and like tried to like street drift with some friends that I made. I couldn't do anything. Like I would clutch kick and I could like kind of drift a corner, but like when it came to transitioning, I was like, whoa, like what is this? Like it was.
You're like aliens, weird.
Yeah, and then my first drift event, like I just understeered like at into the first corner like 5 times in a row, and then bent a tie rod and went home. Like that was my first drift event. So I think if you're able to like go out and like even drift one a corner or do a transition, your first drift event, like you're gonna be fine.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, the transition's like the hard part to get. Once you get that, it's everything else just comes together. I don't know. You probably can do that already, but
I'm feeling good with the clutch kick though.
yeah,
For sure.
that's the way. That's a good way to learn. Like the e-brake, like if you start, I feel like there's like 2 ways to start learning how to drift. It's like you can either like e-brake initiate or you clutch kick initiate. I like to think that learning to clutch kick first is better because it's like
Use more car control.
it's more car control, and it also helps you carry speed because like when you're starting out, it's scary to go fast into the corners, like
Yes.
start drifting. And so like if you clutch kick, like the e-brake is the way to like slow down and then power out. But like if you clutch kick, like you're already kind of going fast and then you're going faster. So it's like it's like the difference of like, 5 miles an hour or something. But like, on a racetrack, that's like a big difference. And later
Yeah.
on, when you start tandeming, it'll help you stay close to the car in front of you, right?
Right.
Like if you,
Because I try to like think about it in my head, like what would I need to do? I need to stay on the gas. I need to clutch kick. Push the clutch in, and then at that point, it's going to break the tires loose. So I think about this logically about like how the car actually operates.
Yeah.
It's not like, and then I think about, okay, I can't just stay matted because the car's just going to go off into oblivion, but I need to like, kind of like feather it. So I think about it in my head, and I think about I need to keep looking forward to where I want to go, like I would drive any race car. So, and I realized that I wasn't like, when I first started doing this, I wasn't looking far enough ahead. I don't know where I was looking because I wasn't really sure what I was looking for. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
where am I going? Like, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I'm not
Yeah.
looking for another apex. I'm just looking off into like the distance. So then I started thinking about, I need to be looking like ahead, kind of like I do a race car. And then it started like coming together. So I was like, oh, okay. So I will do that, and then I can, work the throttle to get me to that position. So I was working on that. I feel better with the clutch kick. I started working on the e-brake initiation because some corners are too tight for a clutch kick. Like you have to pull an e-brake.
Yep.
And I was starting to learn that, and that was feeling pretty good. And then, bammo, I rubbed through some wires. I was like, sick. That's the end of my day.
I mean, you've only done what, like one drift event?
So I went to a drift event. I got 6 runs and I learned 0 because I was like, every 30 minutes I got to run. And I was like, I've forgotten what I was supposed to remember at this point. And then I did go out to Bondurant and I did a lot of stuff there and I learned a lot. And like, I felt good. I was like, okay, I'm understanding this. I feel like I could do that. So I guess 1.5.
Yeah. It's funny. You watch like, okay, so like Tyler McQuarrie or whatever.
Yes.
He's like a road racer that went drifting, and it's funny to watch his handwork because like in road racing, like you don't take your hands off the wheel. You're like,
no, this is a big no to do any of this.
Right. So it's like watching him. He's like trying to like hand the wheel to himself and all this stuff, like, but like he can still do it, but it's like getting the smooth like hand motion's gonna take you a while.
Yeah, I kept on getting yelled at. Let go of the wheel. I'm just like, ah!
Every time I'm riding with somebody that I'm like trying to teach them how to drift, it's like you have to not only let go of the wheel, but you need to like know that it's gonna start going a certain way and kind of like throw it, and then know like you need to know like when that point is to catch it, and like once you figure that out, you'll be set. Like
I think I need to get a different steering wheel though.
Okay. Yeah. The one thing that most people, the biggest mistake people do when they're learning and they spin out a lot is they hold the wheel too long, or they like, because like you'll upset the car, it'll start to go and the wheels are still pointed and all the momentum goes to the back of the car and goes backwards. It's like you have to be proactive on the front wheels going this way. And once you get that, like you'll get it. That's like the hardest part. Once you get that, you can drift, right? So you'll get it.
I'll get it. Keep working at it.
I like that I have something to teach you about car shit.
No, I'm willing to listen. Whatever anybody wants to tell me, I'm down. Please.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing that I always see when I'm like riding with people and they're learning and they spin out a lot. It's like, it's always they do the initiation perfect and then they don't get the wheel going because it's like it's hard to like upset and then let go, right?
Yeah.
Because you like do it and that split second of like, okay, is the car drifting now? Yeah. Too late. So it's like,
got it.
You'll get it. It's just like the timing.
Get there. I'll get there.
And like you could play like, you guys don't have like a Seto or anything, do you?
We do. I should probably use it.
Yeah, play online with us. I'm terrible, but like it does help you learn the timing.
That's what I should do. I should get on there. I honestly I can't figure out how to like. So you have to like download stuff. Do I have to like get
I'll help you out.
Okay, because I'm a noob. I'm over here like, where's the drifting stuff at? I'm like, I don't want to drive Ferraris. I don't care.
Yeah, I can show you exactly what to do. There's like, so like the car, anyway, I won't bore people on the internet, but like you literally just like download them and like put them into a file that like where the game lives and then they show up in the game. That's it.
That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do.
I can like remote into your computer too and do it if you guys want me to.
Oh yeah, because you're a computer guy.
Yeah.
See, I'm like computer retarded, so I don't understand anything. Like I get it. Like I'm surprised that I figured out what is it? Steam.
Yeah.
I figured out Steam, and I downloaded R Factor 2, and I like actually found mods for it. Like I was really pumped at myself for figuring that out.
I mean, killing the game.
I was like, yo, I figured that out. I was like, I figured out how to download a Time Attack Evo, man. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but like I don't know, we haven't been playing that much lately, but or maybe people have and I'm just not paying attention. But yeah, it'd be like a good spot to like even just learn the timing. Like it's different because it's like the game's a little bit icier and it like does weird stuff.
But
But
I figured if it was harder, you would probably make it easier than this.
yeah,
That makes sense?
yeah,
I'm
because
okay with learning something harder.
you can't feel the like you can't feel the car
Like actually
sliding
pitching
or anything.
around.
Like you have to like you just have to like figure out the timing. There's
Right.
like a lot of people who have drifted. Like it took me like a year to get okay at like sim drifting, and I'm still not good because I don't play enough. But uh, I don't know. Like a lot of my friends that drift like get the setups and then they just go, I don't want to do this. Like I'm not good at it.
You're like, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Like I don't know. Luckily for you guys in your like actual racing stuff, I feel like the simulators are a little like the driving sim games are a little better.
It really, except for, like, it's really good for, like, racecraft, like, learning about passing people and being close to them and, like,
Yeah.
watching the rears and stuff like that. Except for the dummy who gets on there and it's like, yeah, I'm going to start from the back and just plow through half the field in, like, corner one. I'm going to forget I have a brake pedal and
That might be me, but I play too much Gran Turismo and just pass everybody.
you're like, suckers.
Yeah, I do like passing. I'm just not. I don't know. Whatever. I'm
Hey, we can work on this. We can work on this.
all right. We'll trade
You
off.
help me with drifting and I'll help you with
Okay. I need all the help I can get because Julian and I have been shit talking to each other for the last like 3 years about who would put down the fastest lap in our drift cars. And so I need all the coaching I can get. I'm gonna pull out all the
Oh,
stuff.
we should make a video about this. This would be so good.
Only only if I don't get like absolutely destroyed. I was so confident until we started playing iRacing together, and Julian like destroyed me, and I was like,
He was faster than Marcos.
I know, I know,
Marcos is like, I'm getting killed over here. I was like,
I know.
Mr.
Yeah,
Time Attack himself.
yeah. Brandon Strong like was doing pretty good. Like Brandon Strong put down a better time than Marcos when we were playing NASCAR stuff. I was like, okay, all right.
So
I mean,
who would own the track record now? I'm just kidding.
I mean, he still beat me, so that should make him feel better.
He beats me a lot, so.
I don't know if that's anything to brag about. Be like, oh yeah, I beat the guy that has the podcast.
Oh man, your mug. That's funny. Cloud.
Yeah, Aaron got it for me. I like hung out with him. He brought it to me right before we all went to Japan together. He's like, here, because I was like, I was being like super goofy at like a Super D Northwest trial, and I was like I was like, what did I say? Oh, I was like, oh, it's cloudy with a chance of fame, like it's like cloudy with a chance of rain, and he's like, I just like the timing was good or something, and I guess he remembered it. But he literally like brought me this mug from Washington, like, and gave it to me
It's
right
pretty
before I
good.
went to Washington.
Hold on one second. I have to get your picture taken with that. Hold on. Marcos, are you listening?
Oh no.
No, I gotta get a picture of us doing this podcast, and you gotta
Okay.
hold up your cloud thing.
Okay, sure.
Marcos.
Well, what do you think
Not
he's
like
just
I
like?
can use my old phone, my own phone.
Yeah. What do you think he's just like waiting outside the door, like?
Well, the last podcast he was listening, and he's like, "Say this, say this." I was like, "Dang, okay."
For those of you listening, she has left the garage. She went to go get Marcos. They live together. They're in a relationship. I am looking at an S14 with a door open. It has purple, like a fuchsia. What's fuchsia? Like a light purple interior. I don't know. It's like a pastel purple.
Just as I suspected, he is on the simulator.
I mean,
Just as I suspected, he's on the simulator.
all right. Well, when this is done, I'm gonna have to get my ass kicked in iRacing, I guess.
Oh, I can't. How do I not have it in the photo here? No, I guess you won't. I'll tell you one more time. That's funny.
Ah. All right, I got my photo taken. I'm officially famous.
Oh, stop.
Ah.
This is good. This is good. Well, thanks for having me on, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I
I
don't even know what
appreciate
time it is.
it's 8:51.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Everyone's
talked
always
for a
like,
while.
"So, what do you need like an hour or so?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." But like most of the time I lose track of time and it goes for like 2 or 3 hours cuz I'm just a space cadet, space human, and I like,
Well, I think people like hearing that stuff. I think they
yeah.
like hearing like whatever you're doing and whatever is going on and things that you do and how you got there or any of that stuff because
Yeah.
everybody likes hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the podcast, like I don't know, I kind of like I looked at a lot of the I looked at a lot of them and they're all really short and I think that like doing the longer format ones are cool cuz you like really get to like know the people versus like we're here and you're like how'd you get into this? I did it this way. You're like, "All right, cool. See you in a year." You know, it's like, "All
You know,
right, well,
like so
I don't know."
I think it's neat to talk about yourself and then talk about how you met someone or what you've done or any of that. I think that's neat. People should want to hear. People want to hear that kind of stuff. They want to hear you just being you and talking like a person. They don't like to hear some scripted baloney.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not doing this for any like financial gains or anything. It's just cuz like I feel like I have cool friends with cool stories and I don't know if it would be like inspirational to others or like people can like learn stuff. It's cool.
Well,
I
you
was
never know when you're going to learn something cool. Like, oh wow, I didn't know. Like, I learned something today. Like, I didn't know they made a blackout plate for your wiring harness. Like,
mm-hmm.
thank
Yeah.
you, Palmer.
I mean, honestly, like I think a lot of the people who are going to listen to this are like drift people, so I think the like time attack stuff is going to be really interesting to them. Like they don't know it's like a 560 wheel horsepower like
Can
STI
I?
on
Maybe I
street
should
tires
explain
like
time. I'll explain time attack.
okay.
So I have a 2017 STI that I bought off the showroom floor 3 or so years ago. It had
Did you
7 miles on it.
did you get a loan?
Yeah, oh yeah, I still have money on it too. Yeah, brother.
I'm sure the bank loves to hear that.
Yeah, so that meme where they say like your insurance thinks you have this, but you have this. That's literally me. I'm that meme. I am the meme.
Yeah.
So built it to run time attack. Has a built engine. Has a big Garrett turbo. Has a 3076. Done a lot of work to it. Has a fuel cell. It makes 560 wheel horsepower. It has like front aero. Has a ton of ducting. Has a huge Ron Davis radiator. Has Olin coilovers.
Dang.
Has just pretty much anything that you could throw at this car. I've pretty much thrown at it. So we built a car ready to get to do time attack in it because I had previously had another chassis that I did unfortunately crash into a wall at Button Willow. And I really didn't want to give up time attack, so I made my daily driver that I bought from the showroom floor into a time attack car because I had a 17 STI.
I know a thing or two about crashing into walls.
So, but you know what? I was really kind of sad about it when it happened, but I realized that the best way to get past it is just to keep going and make something new. So that's what I did. And I built this car into some kind of like freakish monster because nobody has taken a new body Subaru, like a new STI, and made it into a time attack build. And I did that, and it's done great. We did great last year. We have, a class record at Road Atlanta. We podiumed several times last year, and I'm really excited. This year, we went to Dakota in February, and we took 3rd place, even though our splitter broke and we were held together with tow straps. Just trying to go out there and to be the fastest I can be. So my car is actually in street class. So street class essentially is a streetable car that has to be licensed and has to be insured. And it has to have all the interior from the E-pillar forward. This is an S14, but it's an STI, but it's similar.
So you have like carpet in the front and everything?
Yes. And it has to have carpet. It has to have all the trim pieces. It doesn't have to have a headliner if you have a cage. which I have a cage, but it has to have a working radiator, a working blower motor, and all these certain components to be street class. So, and you have to only run a certain wide tire. So only 255 is the widest tire that I can run an all-wheel drive car, and I can run anything like softer than a 200 treadwear tire. So it's very particular class. You can make as much power as you want, but have fun trying to make a lot of power and keep it down on a 255.
Yeah. I can't
560.
imagine.
So, I mean, I've seen people show up with like 700 horsepower, but trying to keep that on like a tiny tire, it's like an ice skate, and they're not that fast. Yeah. So you have to be really like good on your build. You have to really be into the chassis and like really make it work. So 560 is like the real sweet spot. Some tracks I don't do that well because the car is heavy, and it does make a lot of power. Sometimes that's not always best, because some of the shorter tracks, it doesn't matter how much power you have. I mean, some power. But things like Road Atlanta, where the back straight I'm hitting like 157, like that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
So we got
157. What?
So, but just things like that. So that's what we do with the STI.
What was it like the first time you went on track with like a fully kind of like built ridiculous fast car? I mean, like you obviously you went with a Cobalt, and then I mean, did you do just like a big motor build and like tune and E85, or do you run E85?
So like yeah, I run Ignite red, but which is ethanol.
Okay, so it's like E95 or whatever.
First started with the Subaru, I had like 350 horsepower, and then I went to 400, and then I went to 5.
What was that? What was that 400 to 500 jump like?
Big difference. Big difference. Like I was slower.
Whoa,
once I had
okay.
horsepower, because it came on so fast. It was like, whoa, like don't know how to drive this car anymore. You need more brakes for that, and you can't brake where you normally would, and you know everything is different. So
interesting.
A lot
it's
of
funny because it's like the opposite in drifting. It's like throw a bunch of power at it, and it's like way easier to drive.
No, it's like everybody.
I mean, depending, I guess. Like
it's kind of the opposite in time attack. The more power you have, like if you start driving at like low horsepower, and you go to high horsepower, like it's a lot more work.
Yeah.
Like it's not just because you throw horsepower in, it doesn't mean you're going to be fast, because you're going to be, whoa, I'm going to have to brake a lot sooner because I can't brake as late because I'm going so much faster now, and
yeah, everything's
coming at me so much quicker, and I got to turn, and everything just comes flying at you a lot faster. So was a learning curve.
Did you ever get to a point where was there ever a point when you're like, okay, this is too crazy, or were you like, all right, keep it coming?
Now I'm like, the car doesn't scare me anymore.
Okay. But but when you did it, you were like, okay, this is too fast. But
yes, I mean, literally I was like, oh, I don't even want to be full throttle. Like that's kind of scary. Like, man, I'm like, whoa, maybe half throttle's okay, and now I'm just like, foot to the floor, let's go. I'm like, how fast can I be flat?
That's pretty cool.
So it's mostly like how, and a way to describe time attack besides it being drag racing, or it's drag racing with turns and seeing how fast you can get through the turns. But honestly, this also the same thought is, how much can you control the car and be on the gas and be just, it's how much guts do you have? It's pretty much it. Like, how fast can you be back on that throttle? How long can you hold that throttle flat? And how late can you brake? And how much can you turn? And how much faster can you be on the throttle? Like, it's just how much guts do you have to like make it work? It really differentiates the fast people from the slow people. Like, how fast can you be back on the throttle?
I think you'll be okay at drifting. That's like, I don't know. There's definitely like a, yeah.
There's been times in the Subaru where I've been like, you ever play like Mario, and you feel like if you press the button harder, that you feel like you can jump farther if you like smash the button.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how I felt in the Super. Like I couldn't have my foot more planted to the floor right now. Like maybe if I press harder, I'll go faster.
I mean, yeah, I definitely need to. Yeah, I've never done that, so I'm impressed. I've never been like, this is nothing. Like, I need more, especially not
Well,
enough.
really, just really want win, like to be on the podium. I want to be on the
Yeah,
podium every time I go on to an event. So it's like I get that like, yo, whatever, it's fine, it's good, whatever.
I feel
Marcos and
like,
I have had this talk before. Like Marcos is like, I really want that record. That means blowing it up. I'm gonna blow it up.
yeah, I feel like him and Julian have some similarities for
Like
sure.
it doesn't matter. Like I want this really bad. Like what am I willing to risk? I'm willing to blow it up. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah,
Let's turn it up.
Julian said to me, and I've said this on here before, but I'll say it again. Like he he and like Ryan and like a couple of other like drift guys that I've always like tried to like learn from and stuff. They've always said, or Julian said this one specifically, but he's like, if my car isn't totaled at the end of the event, it was a good event, right? Like I'm like, all right, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'll ever be at that level. And then I had an event where I was just like I was so frustrated with like my car. I just started driving like super crazy and like I was like, I don't care if I crash, like I don't care if I break stuff, like I'm just gonna like I came here like and then
Throw it down.
by the end then I just started like going. I was like, all right, that's my new normal, like I need to like get there, like be okay with like damage to the car. And then like now once I got there, it was like, all right, I kind of broke out of this like weird plateau I was on. And I don't know, like they always told me, everybody always told me, Ryan, Julian, you got to hit the person in front of you to know how close they are. Like you don't think you're as close as you are until you
Until
hit
you touch
somebody.
them.
And I've always been like, no, I just don't want to hit someone else's car. Like I just don't want to do it. Like I don't want to hit someone's car and like do damage. And at this last event, Julian was driving Phoebe's S14. He's like, you could just hit it. Like it's fine. I'm like, all right, let's go. And my car is on E85 now, and it's like drives really, really well. Like it's so dialed. It's money. And I was just like like pushing him, and I was like, this is it. Like, and I was like, oh,
You're like, I did it. I
I
did
did
it.
it. I can get so like I was like I had no idea that I could get so much closer than I realized. So it's like it's weird those like mental blocks. Like I don't know. Everybody has like I've been drifting like almost
Yep.
10 years, and I still had mental blocks and stuff that I had to get through. And like now that
I
I
feel a lot of motorsports is mentally. Like
yeah
if you had like if you had something bad happen the day before, they could totally like mess up your driving because you're like thinking about it, but you're not thinking about it.
yeah
Like there's so many mental things that I feel like can like mess up your driving. So I
yep
totally get it.
yeah
I think I think I think driving is like, you know, 50% physical, but like 50% mental because if you're not in the game, like you're not gonna work well.
yeah for sure. I think yeah, there's definitely like events that I show up and I'm just tired or stressed out or something at the beginning of it, and it's like it never like sometimes you'll pull through, but sometimes it's just like you like not able to like reach that level that you like want to be at. So
Right.
it's like
I hear
getting
you.
how do you get to the point where like even when you're stressed out and tired, like you're able to do that? I think that's what separates the people who are like incredible from the people who are good.
Yeah. I still struggle with that. I still have struggled with like the mental part of it because sometimes like things will get in my head and that'll like prohibit me from doing as well as I want to do.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I deal with
and
that
then
too.
you can tell like you realize that like after the event's over, I'm like, oh man, why did I do that?
Yeah,
You're like stupid.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, I've
I
been
mean,
there.
I've been there for sure. It's some I some everybody's got their stuff they gotta figure out.
A
It,
lot of the times is that I get this. I have like this like zone that I get in,
hmm
and it's weird because like I can feel it sometimes, and then sometimes I don't feel it. I know I'm not going to do very well. And I have this zone of just like it's like becomes like tunnel vision. I'm just like,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel like I'm almost like just like robot like. I'm just like, oof, I'm good. I'm in the zone. We're
Yeah.
good. And then
That's the
sometimes I don't feel
best.
it, and then I'm like, ah. And I'm just out here just turning laps, and I'm like an idiot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can't expect to just be in the zone all the time. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Where you're
I
just
had a
like,
hard time with that the last event I went to because I decided that I was going to drive two cars. I brought the Subaru and the Civic.
that's bold.
I can't do that anymore. Like I can really only focus on one mentally. The
Yeah.
other one doesn't get my full attention because it's like it just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're going from like a 200 horsepower front wheel drive car that's probably set up really well, and then on like on Hoosiers, so it's like, and then you go to like a almost 600 horsepower car on like like that's
It's
probably got to be
like
like a crazy, crazy switch.
it's like whoa, whoa, whoa. I did that early like last year and I was at Road Atlanta and I did a bunch of laps in the Subaru and then I went and hopped in the Civic and I tried to take some lines at Road Atlanta like I would take in the Subaru with Aero and the Civic has none.
Yeah.
And I almost spun coming down the big hill because I like tried to cut it like really wide and the car was like, yo, what is this? Like we don't have any of this downforce stuff. What's this? And I was like, oh crap. And I was like, abort. Nope. I saved it, but I almost lost it.
I
It's like,
mean,
okay, so note to self,
you
stay
gotta,
inside.
you gotta find the edge. You gotta find that
It's like,
edge.
I definitely found it. It's like, ooh, I definitely like scared myself there. I was like, all right, we won't do that again.
Yeah, cars will teach you. Yeah, I don't know. Did you learn like a lot of discipline through like the racing stuff? Like, were you kind of, I don't know, were you always like a disciplined person or?
You know, I think I had a lot of bad habits.
Mm,
And then driving
same.
The Civic really taught me to get rid of those bad habits and realize that I do have skill and that I need to use them.
Okay.
And I need to trust the car and I need to just do it. And that really helped me the most once I got past that barrier of like, oh, what ifs? Who cares about what ifs? Just go do it. And I was just
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, yeah. And I just told myself that I need to be the best driver in whatever car that I'm in. So I'm like, just work hard at it. You should be able to, be able to move from one chassis to the next chassis, which is very hard and I don't do bad at it, but I should be able to like, change my driving skill and change myself and just be able to at any moment be ready to go. That was a Marcos talk right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the hard part. That's
Just like
but
be ready to jump into whatever you're doing at the moment. And I was like, okay. And the Civic is it's not, I won't lie, it's not like the easiest car to drive because it doesn't have like sway bars. And I mean, it does now, but when I drove it in like TCA, there was no sway bars. There was any like, any extra, like all it was like coilovers and
yeah.
like a big brake kit up front and a few other items like a diff. And we had ABS pump, but literally it was pretty stock and you really just had to like be on driving it. Like
Yeah.
you would want to understeer, but if you stay on the gas, the car doesn't want to understeer as bad. So you're like trying to stay on the gas as long as possible, almost scaring yourself because you're trying to go so fast in this little slow car, but trying to keep up the speed going and trying to turn it so it wouldn't understeer as bad. And it really taught me a lot. And then I'd go get in the Subaru that has all the grip, and it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
You're like, all right, this is nice. I can get
You're
used
like,
to this.
okay, this is cool. But it really taught me a lot. It's a great trainer car, so
Yeah.
much. And I think that's why I like driving it so much is that it makes me like really like push my driving skill like harder than just being with a car with the power to all the wheels and aero and big brakes and
Yeah.
power and da 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 da
I
da.
mean, yeah, we definitely like doing that in drifting. Like Julian or Phoebe's S14. Like we all like getting in that thing and driving the KA. Like, cause it's fun and it's also like, all right, cool. Like I need to carry speed and carry momentum and like you gotta really be on your throttle control and It's like then you jump back in your car that's like grippy and fast, and you're like, oh, okay, I could do this again. This is easy.
You're like, oh wow, this
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. So I get it. What about when you got into time attack in the first place? Like, did that change your life at all? Like, were you into like other stuff, and then it was just like this was your main focus, or did you kind of just I don't know.
I
That's
just focused on, honestly, when they asked me to drive a Honda, I had no desire to get into wheel-to-wheel racing.
that's cool.
I didn't really follow racing. I didn't really do any of that stuff. But I was like, they're like, we'd like to know if you'd like to drive this car. And I was all like, heck yeah. I'm like, sure. I never thought about doing it, but yeah, let's try it out. And that's
And
what
then,
they were looking for. Like, I had a lot of people that were kind of annoyed that I got the seat. Not
yeah,
gonna lie, and I'll still talk about it on the internet because I think a lot of people don't really understand that I
yeah.
had a lot of people that were annoyed that I got the seat on.
I
They're like,
actually
you drive what?
I met somebody at a wedding who was like jealous that you got to do that like hoonigan like female shootout thing that they had. And I was like, I mean, Sally's kind of badass, so I like I was like she can drive like she's no joke.
No, I had several people annoyed and actually like mad, like straight up pissed that I got the seat with Honda. And they're like, there were other deserving people more than you. And I was like,
Whoa, excuse
but
me. I passed 8 cars in 1 lap,
you
so
like no, but honestly, the reason why we started the program last year was because they wanted to show that their turnkey car that they sell for sale
yeah,
is anybody can jump in the car, start driving it, be
yeah,
fast, do
yeah,
wheel to wheel. It was a pretty much a showing of, hey, you can buy this car, you can do this, you become that, and you can be doing this in a short amount of time.
yeah,
They didn't want somebody who already had wheel to wheel experience. They didn't want somebody with front wheel drive experience. They didn't want somebody that, had been in TCA before. They
yeah,
wanted to find somebody who had done zero and that had done like motorsport events, but in a different form.
yeah.
So I drove a Subaru. I'd never done wheel to wheel. I had to go get a competition license. I had to do all of those items.
What
My
was that?
first race,
What was that like? What was getting a competition license like?
that was easy. I got it with Skip Barber. It was super easy. It wasn't hard. They just show you about like, they taught you stuff like heel toe, which I already knew.
Yeah.
But they showed you about like race starts
You're like,
and
don't worry, buddy, I got this.
passing people and stuff like that, which I didn't have any idea about passing.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I learned all those items. But the scariest part for me is my car got delivered to Coda. And my first wheel-to-wheel race was a professional race at Coda in a Civic. And I'm
What am I doing here?
like, yo, I made a goal for myself that weekend was don't crash and don't die. It was pretty much it.
Okay,
And
that's a
don't
good
take
goal.
last.
Yeah. Did you succeed?
I didn't die. I'm still here.
Okay.
I didn't crash and it didn't take last. So I was pretty pumped. Like I may have taken third to last, but
I mean, first time out.
dude, the first race start. Okay, this isn't like NASA, isn't SCCA, isn't any of that. There's like 6 cars wide going into corner 1. And I'm like, yo, this is never gonna work out. And I am over here like, please, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Please, I'm just gonna try to make it here. So then there's like 2 cars spinning in corner 1 because I don't know if they collided, but they both spun out. And then we get to corner 2 and there's a Miata in the wall. And I'm like,
What?
oh man, I'm like, what have I got myself into?
What did
This
I
isn't
sign up
even
for?
my car, man. Like, don't hit me. Like, get away. So I was terrified. But after the first like weekend, I realized what I needed to do. That I really need to work on what they call racecraft, which is following people, drafting people, passing people, getting comfortable going 2 to 2 into corners, all of that stuff. Like I realized what I need if I was gonna do this year, that I needed to like learn some stuff and learn it fast.
Yeah.
Because I mean we go to the competition school, but you don't learned like wheel to wheel, like life experiences
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
racetrack.
they don't have
So
you go side by side into the corner and then like, then go back and all that. Like,
yeah, all that good stuff. So I mean, they try to, but they can't do like real race scenarios.
yeah.
So Marcus and I bought a simulator, and I started driving the sim, trying to learn like racecraft, like driving Miatas and stuff like that. And I learned a lot, and I watched a lot of racing videos of like people like at race starts and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, next race start, you're not going to suck. So the next race I went to, I finished 7th and 10th, which I was really pumped about. That way better. And then I just started progressing, and Honda was proud. They were like, dude, you're doing great. Like, you could have, kept on like not doing well, but you've been working at it. We can tell. Like, you're feeling more comfortable in the car. And my last race that I did was at Watkins Glen. I had got like 7th, 6th, whatever. And then my last race at Watkins Glen, I was really pumped. The first race, there was 2 races a weekend. The first race I finished like 10th, and I wasn't pumped on that at all. And then I realized that my rear rotors were really badly like gouged, and I had to do new pads and new rotors in the back of the car. And it was like $500, and I was like, ah. And I was like, man, dang it! Like, I was not expecting that, and it was like painful. And then I just told myself, I was like, well, and to bite the bullet and buy the brakes. I was like, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
So I like drove the crap out of the car, and I finished 5th.
Sick.
Like, I was so proud of myself. Like that was like a 5th place, like a top 5 finish is like pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And
first time.
I was so proud of myself. Like, I fought hard for that. Like the last lap of the race, I was like really like working this guy, and I passed him what they call the bus stop. I passed him like I was prepared to go 2-2 with this guy in the bus stop. He choked. And he went, I went through it, and he stayed behind me. I was just like, this is real. I'm like, this is so cool. And at that point, I was like, I'm getting, like, it took me a while to, like, you get it, but it takes you to a real, like, couple of races to, like, really understand.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, okay. Like, I know what I've got here. So now I'm like cool with driving the Civic. Not that I ever wasn't, but, like, I really learned to drive the car, and Honda was pumped. Yo, and I got the hard charger award, and I was super excited about that. I was cool. So, and that was like the biggest thing, is they just want to show that anybody can drive this car.
Yeah.
And I was really pumped that they did.
Not anybody, but
Oh, anybody! I will let you drive the Civic, and you will see how fun it is.
I mean, I'm very happy to do that. I actually love front wheel drive, and I know that's like. Oh, you like but like honestly, like a lot of the drift guys are getting into like they're doing like Honda VTEC Club and stuff. Like a lot of drift people are getting like Civic hatches and going and racing them and stuff.
I feel like it helps.
I'm jealous. I want to go do it so bad.
So I'll let you drive my Civic. It'll be fun.
All right, done deal. I got a suit. I'm legit. All right. I think I've taken way too much of your time. I think we've probably done like 2.5 hours or something.
So if you like find some good stuff in there to cut around, or you just post the whole thing? I just
put the whole thing up. It was all
good.
All
right, yeah. For sure.
We covered so much. And it was like there's like a lot of really interesting stuff in there for people. So thank you. You're the best. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. You have a good night. My beer is really warm now.
Mine's empty.
I got a little bit left.
I'm gonna get another one. All right. Bye, Sally.
Bye.